Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. This is the Majora's Mask Randomizer Season 6 Chaotical Majora weekly test settings. These are the final two test settings, the final test settings before Season 6 will happen soon. I am Shannon, but I'm your restreamer, Seed Roller, and one of your trackers for today. In the commentary booth with me, I have Captain MD13 and G. I'm calling you G forever. And in the tracker cages with me, I have Neuronomicon. Our four lovely racers, we've got Boo, Pojo Lone Wolf, Dat Lost It, and Fifth Whammy. I'm going to hand it over to the commentators. I hope you guys have fun. It's a Shanseed, so why wouldn't you?
Good question.
Yeah, and I got serenaded by Captain. He was singing the Capybara song earlier. So
it was a request from the race time room, so
yep.
I had to oblige, even though I said it wasn't a bad idea.
I'm fixing cropping now. Sorry, guys. That is all me. Didn't you guys enjoy Boo's gift though? It's like the best thing ever.
It is pretty cute. Well, that being said, yeah, so we have Majora. I almost said Majoria. no disrespect, Majoria. But we have Chaotical Majora here. So, yeah, gee, this is going to be an interesting one. Agreed?
Yeah, I am definitely really excited for this. I remember watching the Revan presentation. It was this and Moonfall. I was sitting there just eyes wide open, like, oh my goodness.
All right, so for those who have not seen Chaotical Majora, we do not start with Epona. We have a partial Stray Fairy shuffle. Very specific Stray Fairies are shuffled in all four of the dungeons. Not Clocktown Stray, of course. We'll get into that when we get towards dungeons. The Milk Bar purchases are shuffled. We also have Lulu, Good Photo, and the Lottery minigame that are shuffled. Regional small keys. I think y'all are going to love this one. Small keys can be found in the regions of their dungeons. So you can have, for example, the Great Bay small key in someplace else in Great Bay that isn't the dungeon. Furthermore, Boss Blue Warp is now junked. That song location is now replaced by the Elder Goron in Twin Islands, which requires either fire or hot water.
That's going to be exciting. And I know there's a lot of people talking about Elder Goron when the settings got revealed. As we were kicking off.
Also, we have Andrew and Cafe and Frog Choir turned on, and they can be priority hinted if necessary.
Oh, there's a bow on the clock tower. Very nice.
Very nice.
Projectile there.
Yeah, early projectile is probably one of the better starts you can ask for. I think we're going to get a look at what's on Cafe's face. I see a heart piece, and I don't see what that second item is.
Get a better look in the fifth screen. That was a magic, I think. Did I just see magic?
Was it? It looked smaller, on the smaller side.
Looked like a magic jar to me, but I couldn't completely tell. Nice sword upgrade. Very nice.
Straw Roof Sword, definitely very nice. But yeah, since runners don't really have any money at the moment, yeah, they're trying to get a little extra for the first Tingle purchase. It's perfectly in logic courtesy of that free bow. We do, I think, also have a random starting song that isn't Epona.
Yeah, I haven't quite caught what that was. I don't know if anybody had opened their inventory yet for it. I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point.
All right, looks like, oh, well, there's Larry the Cafe just chilling in the tree. So, anyway.
All right.
Free magic is free. Was that full lullaby we start with? Question mark?
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary there. This Boo's heading for Piat.
What was that in the bomb shop? I couldn't really tell.
I did not notice. Chateau for Pojo. That's so lottery.
That is specifically the Chateau Milk Bar purchase. So that Chateau just got spilt all over the floor.
And it's Deku Palace Wath.
What song location? You love to see that.
Spell Chateau.
East Clocktown is
Gotta
Woth.
leave
Boo
a
just
mess
showed us. Boo just showed us that East Clocktown is Woth.
Okay.
And Pojo says Zora Cape is foolish. Palace Way of the Hero again. Midnight Meeting is dead. And Mount Smithy 2 is dead. I think, are those... Gotta double check what...
sometimes, right?
I think so. Smithy 2 is definitely a sometimes.
And then it was Cape was the Baron?
Yes. Cape's not a bad Baron. Ooh, Milkroad Tinkle's got bombs, though.
No, not at all.
Okay, so Sphere 1
Pretty
North
interesting,
access. You love to see it.
Yeah. And if that really was a full lullaby like we saw, never know what kind of goodies we could be getting up there. Some runners might expect to even see a Goron coming up sooner than later. Goron Mask.
And yeah, confirm. Both of those were sometimes hints. So yeah, both are sometimes hints crossed off nice and early.
Yeah, very nice. And now we'll just be searching out for those always, right?
We do have...
title deed on Observatory.
Okay, that is a Woth location, because Observatory is considered east... Oh wait, no, that's Termina Field. I take that back.
All good. It always made sense to me why the Termina Field was the observatory check was Termina Field and the like bomber's hideout chest was East Clocktown. But in my head it still confuses me.
Understandable. Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't found much money so far today.
No, we have not. And Boo picks up $50.
Ocean Spider House.
Never mind, it's not land title deed.
Ooh, Ocean Spider House reward is, or day one, yeah, Ocean Spider House is Great Fairy Sword. That's gonna suck.
Yeah, that stinks. Okay, so their Swamp Moth is already low. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Nero.
Alright, Dampe is dead. Alright, so Swamp, East Clocktown, and Palace. Those are very early game Woth locations.
Definitely been a lot of interesting info so far. Okay, I don't know if I'd call anything so far insanely spicy.
Not at the moment.
Letter to Cafe in the Tree could be, but I don't know.
Postman's Freedom has a Zora mask. Ask and thy shall receive, my friend.
That was Deku. Was that in Dongo? Yep.
I think so. Pinnacle Rock is foolish.
Okay.
Okay, so just don't bother going west is the short version for this. Is what it sounds like.
Have you been taking care of the commentary? Yeah, you have. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Madame Aroma just gave us Sniffa.
Oh, room check-in Goron mask. So we know where all of our transform masks are.
Okay, now we just need Letter to Mama and we're golden.
Yeah.
Although, given what we have and what we know, chances are one of those three Watts is probably that. I'd be very surprised if one of them wasn't Letter to Mama.
Yeah, that would kind of stink too, but definitely sounds like it could be the case.
Yeah, like the swamp. If I had to take a guess early, the Swamp Woth is probably Letter to Mama.
Yeah, very.
Because that seems like the most accessible one. Dat just took a minute to stare at that Zora mask. Alright, so Dat's about to get Goron Mask courtesy of Room Key.
Yeah, there's a hookshot on Swamp Archery.
Seed, slow down. That's not even Swamp.
Yeah, that's just Road to Southern Swamp. This is there. This is We're getting a lot of nice things. See, just a little too generous.
All right, where's the drop here?
Yeah, where's the where's the catch? That sniffer could be Wath. That sniffer could be Wath. It is an content pick.
That's true. And it could be just Sniffa to Madame Aroma, not Madame Aroma, to Blue Potion potion shop item.
That'd be very entertaining.
That'd be one boring Wath. Well, it'd be a blown Wath to a Wath. It'd be very entertaining, but it would be blowing 2 Waths.
Yeah. This is true. Hojo is going for that letter to cafe, so maybe was in fact magic that we saw.
It must have been, yeah. It's free too, so you might as well get it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, banana.
Yeah, it looks like Guru gave us Circus Leader's Mask. I mean, we're gonna hopefully get an Aliens hint eventually, so we'll see if that'll come in handy later. Yeah, it looks like everybody's on at least the path to their bombs. It looks like Pojo hasn't picked up bombs yet, though. I believe he knows about them.
Oh, shoot.
And yeah.
Has my audio been echoing at all, out of curiosity?
Not on my end.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and yeah, it was
resetting my devices a lot.
Oh!
No way!
Yeah!
No way! Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No way!
Oh, Fisherman's Game is the red potion bottle, not required. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's amazing. I got the same combination on my luggage. Ventnor's
right. 5th wins. Race over. That was the greatest thing we'll see all day.
Incredible.
Oh. And there's Letter to Mama. Punch Rock.
Punch Rock?
On Dad's side.
Okay. That's not even... Okay, so these Watts suddenly got very interesting.
Yeah, this is... this is slowly becoming a lot quicker of a seed.
Yeah, rip my prediction. That got thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Although,
I was right there with you. I was expecting to see Letter to Mama on, like, the Swamp Tourist Route or something.
I mean, East Clocktown Sniffa to Blue Potion Wath is still... Blue Potion Potion Shop Wath is still on the table.
Yeah. It absolutely is.
That would mean, though, that the wallets have to be locked behind whatever is on the Blue Potion.
Which would be really entertaining.
Well, that just spilt the chateau. Oh!
Range Sister's defense has... So, we don't need that crying, man. Or, well, we didn't need it anyways, but it's not going to be useful. But we do have aliens. For Captain's Hat. There's both hints. Pojo.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah, so any ranch skippers are going to feel a little bad today.
All right. There's our spice.
That is pretty interesting. What was on Ranch T? It was Captain's Hat on Aliens, and it was... I honestly don't remember. It looked like a dead item on Cremia. And then Fisherman's Game was Bottle Red Potion.
Pojo just punched the other rock in, what is this? Butler is required ice arrows.
Oh. Wait.
Well, that can't be the Wath.
Interesting. No, but I think our two outstanding Decker Palace and Swamp Waths just became even more interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know if one of them, if they're both capable of not being at least like a light or fire. That's pretty incredible.
All right, Romani mask on the doggy racetrack roof. I just noticed Pojo's logo on the bottom left of the screen has gone into rage mode. You folks at home unfortunately can't see it, but
Yeah. Pojo had the blue Yoshi, their little icon, and just had nice shades on. It was looking very cute. And saw the Ranch Sisters hints, and now it's very angry. Angry Yoshi.
Alright, so Pojo just found, or not Pojo, excuse me, Boo just found a Snowhead small key in the Path to Snowhead Grotto. So that shows earlier, as we mentioned, about regional key shuffle.
Yep. Very interesting setting for sure. I'm excited to see how that plays out for the rest of this seed.
Alright, meanwhile, Dad has acquired Hook. So I still don't have a third Foolish. Am I reading that right? If the third...
I don't believe we've seen a third one.
If the third Foolish is, like, Great Bay Coast, I am going to laugh. Because it's literally just, don't go west.
This seed's lining up to be that a little bit anyways. Watch, there's going to be, like, a stray unhinted item in, like, hookshot chest or something. Oh man, the always hints isn't working? Dang.
Yeah, for always hints, I have Ocean Spider House's Great Fairy Sword, Damp Bay is dead, Fisherman is the red potion bottle, not required, Ranch Sisters is required for Captain's Hat on aliens, and Butler has ice arrows. Those are the 5 I've got written down. And Boo, in the meantime, is going to go straight for Goron Village.
So how do the rotating always work? Do they work similar to when they were introduced in S4, where when you find 7 of them, the rest are just immediately dead?
I think it's 6, but yes, that's the point that still holds.
Okay, very good.
And yeah, it looks like Boo does, in fact, it looks like our song is, in fact, full lullaby, which has given us Song of Healing.
Okay. Not quite what I expected to see there, but I think at this point, this seed is basically screaming, go south, do Deku stuff, and you'll probably be rewarded.
Alright, the Goron here has a Giant's Mask. I mean, it's twin mold logic, but...
I think I saw somebody mention this, it was Kirby Fan. Would Vanilla Sonata actually just fulfill the Wath because of the Ice Arrow location?
That's a great question.
That'd be incredibly boring if that's the case.
I do not know that answer, but that is a great question.
I always assumed, or not assumed, but I always understood that the Wath songs in standard logic had to explicitly lead. Well, I actually just assumed that was an MMR like logic thing. They have to immediately lead to an item in the dungeon.
Yes.
Because of like drunk logic stuff. I didn't assume that it could be post, but I honestly don't know.
Now, there is a wallet on the Tourist Center roof, so if it's land title deed on the Sniffeturnant, I'm gonna laugh.
That'd be pretty comedy. Pretty heavy comedy.
Alright, so the
transformation... Yeah, I think East Hawktown is definitely less of the target location as far as like where interesting things could be. Just because of that Sora.
The lottery item is a piece of heart, not important, but we found our Woodfall Temple small key chilling near the Spider House Grotto.
I had a very fun experience when I played Recomp for the first time and learned that lottery was even a check that could be an MMR. I always just kind of assumed it wasn't a thing.
So the cheap milk bar purchase is double defense, while the expensive one is Don Garrows. And we should, well, if Frog Choir is hinted, that means it could be, Frog Choir could still be hinted. We're missing one always hint.
Is that Mirror Shield?
It's either Mirror Shield or Stone Mask.
Yeah, I couldn't tell between those two, but it did look more like Mirror Shield when I looked at it for a little longer. Oh god. I mean, this seed is basically screaming that Mirror Shield won't be needed, excuse me. But it totally could be.
Yeah, because we don't get a swamp.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because we don't get the Swamp Spider House hint anymore.
Yeah, I think these settings it's distinctly just disabled for Favor of the Peak. Pojo's definitely. I think a lot of runners could be.
Yep, it was looking too good to be true, G. You hit the nail on the head there earlier.
Yeah. I mean, it still could be. Especially info-wise, we are, like, loaded with knowing where a bunch of our required items are. Or, like, where they could be. But those few possibilities of the seed getting ugly are kind of just continuing to be like, hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. Getting closer and closer to something that could be a little bit merciless. Maybe. I don't know. I'm excited. See what happens.
Yeah, it looks like Boo and Dat have not yet picked up their magic. They are on the path to it, but just haven't gone around to it yet. For that matter, Fifth Whammy only has just the letter at this point.
It's definitely very interesting to me to see how much like early sphere cleanup runners are doing.
Yeah,
as they're kind of like routing in a bunch of different checks. It seems like they're kind of skipping a lot of that aggression, which I'm very surprised by, especially with the runners we have.
Pojo is the only one who decided to aggressively push clearing the cycle ASAP to get magic and the ranch hints, which, to be fair, does seem to be working in his favor right now, because now he's got that very early knowledge of ice arrows and aliens.
Yep. Yeah, I distinctly remember a few mystery seeds when I watched Pojo play, where they would just kind of aggressively push different things, and it would really work out. And I feel like if there's any time to kind of whip out some of those progressive kind of plays, it would be in a standard setting that's like mixed up a little. And I kind of like it.
Certainly a good
mark a random song. It must just be full lullaby.
It is full lullaby, right? Yeah. Because Boo, when Boo got healing, when Boo got healing earlier, they played full lullaby.
Has Pojo picked up LTM? Literally getting it right now. It's funny I see that message then, but yes.
Oh, no. LTM, yeah. There's still time for that too, so yeah, Pojo is making good use of this very quick first cycle.
Yeah. And then hopefully sooner than later we see runners start to kind of clear out the south.
Looks like Dad is also pushing the letter to Mama.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense to do that. I wonder if any runners will go for that mirror shield. I would think it's too risky to go for it, but I just am curious if anybody will think otherwise.
Well, we know the captain's hat is required.
Yeah, we know the
from aliens.
Required, right?
But we also already have Song of Healing. So yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And we know Boss Blue Warp is now junked in these settings, so that won't give us a song.
Right. Yeah, I'm starting to pretty heavily assume that if the Vanilla Sonata situation doesn't happen, that there's going to be like fire arrows somewhere in Deku Palace.
And I think Pojo still saved Blast Mass Lady because the magic was on the pendant, so that was still you could still kill two birds with one stone there.
Absolutely right.
And was also able to peek the All Night Masked shop item, which was only a purple rupee.
Good to know. That would have been a gross check to have to deal with all of these.
Could you imagine if Dampe? Could you imagine if Dampe was required after having to do aliens?
Ugh.
Granted, it would link up well with the cycle, but even still.
Actually, it would be really funny to have to route that way. I'd be very interested to see if anybody does anything creative with it too.
Oop. Pojo took a smack from the Dodongo there, but recovered pretty nicely.
Light arrows. Oh, Bucky, that's a really... That is very unkind. I quite like that.
Oh, and unhinted at this stage, too, if that were the case.
Because at the point that I was kind of making is that if we need Keg for aliens, right? I'm not misremembering that?
Yes, we need Keg for aliens regardless.
So it would make sense if Keg was one of the songs. Not that there's any specific reason why it would have to be, but it would make sense. But then just having lights somewhere in STT behind Mirror would just be really mean. that would screw a lot of runners over, I'm sure. That would screw me over. I'm sitting and staring at the idea, and I'm like, I would never do that anyways.
All right, so Fifth Whammy just discovered the story about Captain's Hat.
Yeah, definitely happy to see the ranch. And I was not watching Dat's screen. Did Dat go left side Deku Palace first?
I don't think so.
Bean Salesman?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what we get here then. This may just be the Wath. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well.
that qualifies. What do you know? A blown Wath on Epona's song. Thanks, game.
I'm going to have to continue watching more of these seeds, because I haven't been playing any of the asyncs, because I haven't been playing much MMR. And I'm going to have to continue to reroute my brain to what no Epona start looks like, because I am, it's so many years.
Hey, Fifth Whammy, buckle up. You gotta do Butler Race.
Yep.
This is gonna be good. I think
Epona
we're
was
gonna have
in
some fun.
Deku Palace, yes, Nero.
Yeah, that's very, very likely, if it's not just whatever this chest is.
Horse monkey. Oh!
Oh.
Well, I was also conveniently right.
That could also be the Palace Wath.
Yeah, those both definitely fulfill that Wath.
Fire's also really nice because it gives you the song on Elder Goron.
Yep. So yeah, now that we've got that, definitely north and south are both just like very entertaining, and we just have to find that Sonata to clear out Woodfall and get ice.
And have we found anything in Swamp besides Sniffa? Or no, Sniffa was east Clocktown.
The Taurus Roof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen A&M purchase.
Oh. Well, actually, no. I wonder if... So the East Clocktown Wath hasn't been filled yet, right? Am I reading that right?
Unless the what's it called? Postman's Freedom doesn't count. I can't remember if that counts.
Oh wait, yeah, that does count. Yeah, it's got to be Postman's Freedom.
Yeah, so technically it's fulfilled because Zora's there. But
yeah, so actually
we could still be the Wath if it locks land title deed in the other wallet.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, the more cynical theory would be that Sniffa locks the wallet and, like, the 200 mask, the 200 rupee purchase on the milk bar is, required Don Garros, but we need the hint for that to be the case. And we only have one always hint left. Yeah, we only have one always hint, so if it doesn't show up, then it's not that.
But that would be a very fun, like, light arrows or keg or something. If that's even possible in this situation. I think those are the only two items where any, like, random crap could be anymore, right?
Yeah, the song items are the ones that can be. The song items are the one that can be really spicy. I mean, fire arrows became a song item as a result of these changes.
That's true.
Basically,
yeah.
The alternative would be lens plus bottle. Yeah, lens plus bottle. That's right.
Call. Yeah. But we do not need that today. Fires were very easy to get. Dat picking up the Zora mask.
Yeah, Pojo will soon follow.
Yeah. But is the first of our restream runners to acquire all three transforms.
Yeah, this start has kind of forced everybody on the same path as far as getting, like, Zora Mask and Magic is concerned, and so far they haven't had any issues with getting it.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. We're on final night. Dat and Fifth Whammy did deposit the letter to Cafe, right? Why did they not have Magic?
No idea.
Interesting.
Well, we have Eponas now.
Yeah, Pojo rushed the Magic and got it right away. Boo isn't far enough in the cycle to get it. Because yeah, the pendant pickup that can be done by saving Blast Mask Lady. Pojo's gonna grab double defense here. Given that we have we're still currently on 3/4 hearts, that's actually not a bad find.
Definitely not. I probably would have been doing the same thing. Especially because you see how quick this seed is getting, and like at any random point you could theoretically be in no mode.
Yeah,
You
Dad
just
also
wanna get into it.
showing us the rare Day 3 observatory image of the Skull Kid just about starting to lose control.
Yeah, I will say I have enjoyed Dad's route pretty good amount. Definitely don't mind running observatory late when he's gotten a very good amount of other checks going.
Yeah, I think everybody's got explosives at this point. Everybody's got knowledge of magic and knowledge of Zora.
Yeah. I think everybody knows most things except for people who haven't gone ranch. And then, like, even then, yeah, Dat has the advantage in Woodfall and Deku Palace, but every runner is going to catch up to that very quickly.
All right, Pojo, one of the last things for the cycle, is going to turn in the Song of Healing on Camaro. Only gets a piece of heart, which, granted, not going to go amiss considering that sends him up to 4. All right, Staff Room is dead. I think Pojo's just going to drop a few rupees here before the cycle's over.
Makes sense to me. What checks are we missing in Swamp still? We're still missing the witches checks.
Yeah, no bottle, so there hasn't really been a good incentive to go there. Oh, Post minigame had Blast Mask. That's been in
Yeah,
logic
that
too,
makes
because we had a bunny hood fairly early. We had it in Lens Cave, I think. So
Yes, I believe you're right.
so that should be an in logic Blast Mask. Not that that really matters, because we literally got bombs in the
Started with
second.
bomb
Bombs
back
is the
so
second
early.
item. Yeah. All right, Skull Kid, what are you holding up there? Because that song's not junk either.
So yeah, we should probably... So the Southern Swamp Waft, we've got the wallet there, we've got
Yeah.
the... What else have we got? We saw Mirror Shield on the Spider House, which I'm assuming can count because it's just not a part of any hint pool now.
I think so.
Yeah. That makes sense. Sonata showing up here at Elder Goron was like... I don't even know if it was hard required. I'm assuming it wasn't just because it could have been on Ranch Song, but it was pretty likely.
Yeah, it could either have been on Skull Kid or Elder Goron, given what we have now. So,
yeah, I think just considering it only locked ice arrows, it seemed like it was going to be one of those two, but it definitely didn't have to be.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we have the small key, and assuming the big key is in its vanilla location, which I think if we're going Season 4 settings, the answer to that is yes. If that's the case, then...
Big keys in this settings.
Yeah, we have the small key. We know about the small key already, because that's just chilling in the grotto, the Swamp Grotto. So, yeah, Woodfall Temple's already full clearable. So...
Yeah. And then we've got everything for Snowhead Temple, right? We've got Fire's Bow, Magic.
Oh, jeez, we do.
Goron.
I didn't even think about that.
I don't know anything about keys with MMR logic. I think I've been playing with them off this entire time.
We have one, which is one. We have one small key, a knowledge of one small key, which is enough.
They're good to know. And then yeah, dungeons have extra checks now because they have the fairies enabled. There's 4 checks extra in Woodfall and 2 in Snowhead.
Yeah, one of them in Snowhead needs Great Fairy Mask.
Right. But that is still an extra peekable check, presumably. Wait, which one is it? Freezer. Yeah, that's something they can at least look at. You can full clear without a key, it's just annoying. That is good to know, though.
Yeah, like 1 key is cozy, 0 keys is doable, at least.
Yeah, Virgil, you're right. We are literally just in that point where 3 of our dungeons are very close to being ready. 2 of them pretty much are. Not pretty much, 2 of them are. And then, yeah.
Yeah, so we get, here's the interesting thing as well. Once we get ice, we're just a Garo/Gibdo away from the, from Icona access. Not that we have any hints to go there right now.
Yeah. Man, it does still seem like we're looking for something else out of Swamp now. And hopefully kind of in clearing progression, the runners will find Bottle. And yeah, it looks like Dat's doing...
Hey, Cafe, since you're here, why don't you take this letter for us? No? No? We have to wait till day 2? Okay, fine. Have it your way.
Cafe's just a little shy, okay?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Toilet Hand did give us a Picto box, and that's been in play as well. That could be a Woth item from Swamp.
Oh yeah, good call. I hadn't even thought of that.
And Lulu Photo, good Lulu Photo is also a check, but I mean, it's not a cape check. It's a hall check. Yeah.
Well, at least I think it is. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, because the Zora is on the top of Zora Hall, but not outside. So yeah, that should be a hall check.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. Tingle Pick might be anything. It totally could be. Yeah, we still kind of want to figure out where that Swamp Woth is pointing us. Unless we already know, but I wouldn't know if that key was just enough.
Yeah.
Epona's not marked on any tracker. I think that only Dat has it.
Yeah, because Epona was the song on Deku Palace. That being said, read the always hint. Sure, I gotcha. I have Ocean Spider House Day 1, which is Great Fairy Sword. Dampe is dead. Fisherman Game is the red potion bottle. Butler is Ice Arrows, and Ranch Sisters is required captain's hat and something else that's junk. Alright. We're going to get the picture of Tingle check now.
Thank you for marking or tracking the Eponas for Dat. Whoever did that.
And even more bombs. Alright, so it's definitely not that either. I think we can safely call the Swamp Woth as we found 2 things here, right? We found the Swamp Small Key, and we found Fire question? No, Fire was in Deku Palace.
I think it's the wallet, or it's gonna be something behind the...
That's right, it was the wallet.
Day 2 Woods Grotto?
No, nobody's been to Woods at all.
Yeah, so we could always see something in Secret Woods with one of the witch checks, or in the grotto there. But as it currently stands, wallet's the only actual thing we've gotten.
Well, and again, my cynical side is still thinking, okay, that wallet is currently locking Don Garrow's mask, and if that gets hinted, you know, that's our last missing always, if it is.
Lack of bottle. Yeah, that's the reason why they haven't gone out there. It makes perfect sense.
So yeah, keep an eye out on that, folks.
The mirror. Oh. Thanks, Trez. Fixed. Yeah, that mirror. I totally forgot about the mirror on Swamp Spider House.
Oh, there's that too, yeah.
I keep just, like, deleting it from my Swamp, like, checks because I'm thinking of it in the always sense, but yeah.
Well, the other thing is, we've been running Mystery for a while where Swamp Spider House reward is force junked.
Right, right.
And if the items are required, it's hinted as its own region.
Yeah,
but that hasn't been the case for the last couple of months, so yeah, I understand entirely. It's throwing me off for a loop too. And as Fox points out, yeah, we have no bottles. And apparently the Fisherman's Game one isn't required, so...
Yeah, it totally could be that mirror shield.
Yeah, because we've had Hookshot in play for a while. That was on Swamp Archery, and Bo was free on the Clock Tower. So yeah, we've had... And Zora Mask was virtually free, too, because that was just Goron Mask on Room Key to Punch Rock for Letter to Mama to Postman's Freedom. So yeah, Swamp Spider House has been in play for some time now.
It's more just that mirror doesn't quite do anything for us yet, so I think every runner has to kind of... Well, not has to, but the way that I would see it as a runner is just like, I want to check anything before that to see if I can get my light arrows and all my songs before then, because then at that point, mirror's dead.
Right, Heart Piece in Biobaba Grotto.
We could very easily see Keg into Captains well before we ever need mirror.
All right, that's just gonna find the Goron Elder real quick, which I believe it's on the left side of this bridge here.
Yes.
Oh, the Goron Elder. Oh, no, wait. The Goron Elder's position is different every day.
If she misses anything, unless I'm just... Yeah, alright. Thank you, Neuro. Yeah, in chat, feel free as well. Let us know if we're missing anything. We would love to make sure we keep everything up to date for all of you.
Alright, so Dat's gonna get Hot Spring Water Grotto, and presumably the Goron Elder song. That looks important. I mean, that's the best offense we're gonna get until we find FD, since Great Fairy Sword is in Ocean Spider House Day 1 reward. That's not getting picked up. But yeah, Gilded Before Dungeons is pretty nice. We haven't had to do, like, any high-intensity combat yet.
Yeah, you always love to see a combat upgrade as well. Just for the runner's sake. Oh my goodness. Light arrows on Tinkle.
On Great Bay... Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, well, Great Bay Coast isn't foolish.
Well... That's something.
This seed is almost solved.
Yeah.
We're just looking for Keg.
Yeah,
And Garo Gibdo, obviously, yeah.
That's really just it.
Okay.
And one of those totally could just be sitting behind Wallet, or in Day 2 Woods Grotto, or on one of the witch checks. If not, then that mirror is Wath, but yeah.
We're gonna get a Keg trial check here from Dat, courtesy of these fires. Alright, we're gonna see what Macau gives us here.
Are the song? Not quite. Boss Blue Warp is junked. Elder Goron's on.
That's pretty much, those are the only two major changes. Boss Blue Warp is off, Elder Goron is on. But Macau did give us a Great Fairy Mask.
And then the only other... Oh, god, sorry.
So now that Stray Fairy check in Snowhead Temple is in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
So fifth Whammy is currently missing... Whammy does not have Fire's Mark, so I assume Whammy bomb jumped over the, Did Whammy bomb jump over the, over the gate to coast?
Must have.
Yeah, because that... Otherwise, I don't see why fifth Whammy wouldn't have Fire.
Yeah, I think 5th just hasn't been to Palace.
Which is really interesting, considering that's been hinted Wath for a while, because that wasn't one of the ranch hints.
I think it makes sense. I mean, there's so much progression available to the runners at this point that, like, it's kind of easy to just not have done things.
Alright, we are going to see what is on the Elder Goron here.
Alright, what tunes you got?
But yeah, the New Wave.
Wave.
Alright, well, that's 3 dungeons full clearable in from our knowledge.
So...
Ooh, good photo was a room key.
Now where Icon Access and Keg could be.
And a good Lulu photo was a room key. Okay, now we haven't found the Great Bay Temple's small key yet. It could still be in its own dungeon, but it could also just be anywhere else in the Great Bay region. I think that includes Pirate's Fortress. But the only reason we would need the key is if we have to go to Wart. Oh. never mind. Turning in the mountain title deed was Keg.
My goodness. What?
Seed, slow down.
Yeah, you can call
This
this one. The J word's allowed now. This is just dumb.
This is literally... Well, now that basically deletes the entire West. Or not West, sorry. The entire East. The entire East has been deleted now. We can basically confirm that. Save for the Captain's Hat song. If that's the case, then... Because what are our remaining song checks? There's... Not Boss Blue Warp, obviously. There's Egos. There's... Romani. I'm missing a song somewhere. The Captain's Hat song.
Wait, do we still have a bottle?
We still don't have a bottle now. And apparently the one on Fisherman's Game isn't required.
Makes sense. Ugh.
So... I think we'll know what our story is once we check Romani's game. Because we have to do Romani's game anyway, since we're going to be using the keg. So, if Romani's game is Elegy or Oath, then Mirror Shield is just dead.
Yeah, Bucky, that makes sense. Because we need the bottle to get the princess, to get the ice arrows, to get the bottle on Fisherman's Game. Ugh. How are we getting everything 45 minutes in but a damn bottle? Was that the issue? In a butler seed.
That did just get another bow off of Snowhead Temple.
Grave has elegy. I would not be surprised if Grave is just elegy. Could it be Oath technically still?
Yes, if Romani's game is Elegy.
Okay. Then yeah, I think Fox is right. I think Keg being dead makes sense. What if day 2 is a bottle? Oh my god.
I mean, nobody went to Day 2 Woods. Nobody went to Woods at all. Everybody instead is just rushing Snowhead Temple here, which rushing dungeons doesn't seem like a bad idea because you now have, for anybody who's got New Wave, that's 3 dungeons you can full clear right away here, except for Warden GBT. That's about it.
Yeah, and we could very easily just, like, find bottle.
There's another gilded chest here in Snowhead Temple. Any particular reason why Snowhead Temple wasn't hinted as someplace we might want to consider going?
I think this seed was kind of telling us to go here a little bit.
All right, key in its own. Second Snowhead key is actually really, really nice.
Yeah, definitely. Or at least that's what Bucky was saying. I trust Bucky.
Oh, so remember that great fairy mask I was talking about? There's a bottle in that stray fairy.
Oh, no way. That's what that is?
That's an empty bottle.
Oh, Dad missing a jump. Almost. Well.
Anyway, well, we found our bottle. It's behind Song of Healing.
Game.
Now that's some comedy. I love it.
Have to play time of day safely here. Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of ways that you could speed up your seed if you are very careful about how you play this. And especially keeping Mirror Shield in mind, you really need to keep that in mind.
Both the other bows were in Snowhead Temple.
Alright.
Alright, game. Have it your way.
Oh! Bounce. Unfortunately, Boo missed the recoil rate.
So Boo also wants that bottle.
Yeah, the runner's are probably very aware of the fact that they need their princess bottle now.
Oh, that's right. We literally can't do Butler Race without Deku Princess.
Yeah, I think that's actually more important than checking woods now. The bottle, as far as the bottle's concerned. Like, screw the red potion check. This is just princess. I hope Section isn't running today, because I would not be surprised if they're not going to be bringing Princess to the Moon, just because you can't... Unless you literally recycle to go get her, but that seems so bad. Aw, land title, dude. No sniff up.
Wow, there's so much stuff here in this Snowhead Temple.
So yeah, if for some reason Mirror's not the Wath, we just got that wallet in logic. So wallet could be pointing to Icona Access.
And yeah, the wallet is in play now too, so it looks like Pojo is trying to peek the Stray Fairy, and if hasn't already, should see that it's a bottle. Thinks, oh great, I need that.
Yeah, it does seem to notice it after that, but... Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pojo did not get Great Fairy Mask yet? No, Pojo I don't think has GF Mask. I think it was Whammy who got it.
Fifth checking Romani's game now. Yeah, I don't know if this will give Fifth, like, an advantage at all. Just because this seed is so intensely centered around, like, all of the progression that's going on. But... it is interesting reading this.
Alright, and Romani's game is Song of Storms, so yep, Mirror Shield is required.
Yeah, checks out.
I don't think that's possible at this point, because Garo Gibdo is our go. Yeah, Garo Gibdo is our go. At best, Pamela could have like a Stone Tower Temple small key. That's it.
It'd be funny if big keys were shuffled in when she had it. The Storms isn't even on the trackers. That's kind of awesome.
But yeah, otherwise we do have vanilla big keys.
She can't have the mirror shields on the Swamp Spider House check.
Yeah, the nice thing is our runners can just put that off until they have like more stockpiles of arrows and stuff. So, and they need bottles too for bugs.
That being said, Fifth immediately realizing it, looks like he's going right for it. So, pretty heads up from him. Where's the hook shot? What? The hook shot's on... Oh, that's on Swamp Archery. Does Fifth really not have it? Oh, no.
That is a great question.
That's bad. I really didn't think any runner would skip Road to Southern Swamp Archery because we had bow as our first item. Sending bottle for doing... Yes, good point. We can't quite do that yet, but does know that they will need to do it. Or at least seems like they will. I guess I have no idea. Swamp Archery skipper. This is a very bad day to be Swamp Archery skipper.
Clearly.
Literally sitting in front of you and it's hard required. Ugh. Yeah, this sucks.
Fifth Whammy unfortunately got caught early, I think. Halt. Yeet.
Now it's definitely impossible for us to see how much of a lead the keg location could have given Fifth. Because it could have.
Oh, nice ocean title deed on Goat. Oh, Fifth Whammy is not having a good time with these guards.
Nope. Got surrounded.
Dampe is dead. We do get some more hints here, so hopefully it'll point us at A, our third Foolish, because we're still missing that too. Nice night of the first day in the middle of a hook. Thanks, game. Thanks a bunch.
Every time I watch Fifth play live, they always miss one straight check. I gotta stop watching Fifth live.
We needed that key before we completed the dungeon. Yeah.
Thanks, game. You're very kind.
All right, this hint says butler is required. Much to Dad's frustration.
All right, that definitely seems like a Dad's Knock on Ranch smash there. I thought all of them had, but maybe Dad hasn't. Well, almost certainly, because he would have done that. Good that Dad knows it now. Though I can't quite remember. Oh yeah, both Ranch Sister hints were in Ranch, that's right.
Yes, they were.
That's right, because I remember saying Ranch Skippers are not happy today.
All right, we've got 2 more checks here in Twin Islands.
All 3 keys can show up. That's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, because it is possible to not need keys for Snowhead Temple. They're just convenience items.
Earlier, it's just really annoying.
Yeah, I would say the 2 keys that are like the most powerful are the Woodfall and Great Bay Smalls, but also 2 Stone Tower keys would be really nice.
Yeah, Neuro, I think 5th is going to be not very happy with the loss of the hook, even though 5th can with Storms get Oh, 5th. You need to see him.
Oh dear.
Pojo? Oh wait, never mind. Figured
Yeah, Pojo's done with Goat. Boo has followed. We're gonna see the day 1 Smithy.
For those 3 runners. Boo, Pojo, and Dat.
Alright, day 1 Smithy is coming up here from Dat's side. I have no idea what that is. So we still don't have our 5th always hint.
I guess Dat was not needed. That's pretty good. I like it.
So yeah, Dat did not get the bottle that was in Snowhead Temple. Doesn't look like I don't see a bottle marked on the inventory.
No, Dat did not get that bottle.
Fast. I think that is supposed to be our first logical bottle, given what we know now.
Yeah.
Because that bottle, I will again remind the audience, is locked behind Song of Healing. Since that was, that's the Great Fairy, I think that's because that's the freezer corridor, right?
Yeah, I believe that's the...
Turning in the land title deed has yielded a golden rupee, though.
Darrow. Excuse me. Oh boy. Yeah, I think that's what happened with that. I think they had tried to jump. Fox was saying from the wrong side and then kind of did something else. Whereas Boo did the recoil and I think got it after a try or 3.
Maybe there'll be another bottle just chilling here in Woodfall Temple. So yeah, 5th Whammy is missing both hookshot and fire. Because Bean and Storms can still get you fire, but no hook is still really rough this late.
Yeah, 5th is in a bad spot now. Very, very bad spot.
Yeah, and all of our runners have all 3 transformations, right? Yeah, they all have all 3.
Is one of them not trash?
They look all tracked to me.
Yeah, they look all tracked to me too.
There was a bean in North Clocktown. Yes, it was on the Transformation Fairy reward. Oh, that bean could also be a backup way to fire arrows. So yeah, that could throw logic very astray here. Oh, what is that?
Yeah, 5th could just, like, not get Hook for a while, but...
Alright, we are going to see the Ocean Spider House chest. We know that the reward is Great Fairy Sword, so that won't be getting picked up.
See, this makes no sense to me. How do you
I'm
do
boosting
a
over
with Ocean Spider House when you have, like, the earliest year of Road to Southern Swamp Archer?
Excuse me, game. All Knight's mass purchase is already considered dead. Do not tell me Garo is on bank 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's Giant's Wallet. In Woodfall Temple.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Now, chat, clarify for me. Nothing is hard locked behind the Woodfall small key, correct? It's just mainly for route optimization, or am I not reading that correctly? Nice hard piece. Nothing's hard locked behind it. Okay. So yeah, basically the Woodfall small key can't really be Way of the Hero.
Can small keys ever be WoW?
I think
fundamentally.
I don't know, actually.
It'd be kind of cool if they could be.
They could. Cool. So yeah, like for example, if the Great Bay Temple small key is Way of the Hero, then that means there's something on Ward. And Stone Tower Temple as well.
It's definitely required for ISTT.
Yeah, because ISTT I think expects minimum 2 keys.
That's very cool.
We got a couple's mask on the turtle room chest.
I have to say, regional small keys aren't really playing too much of a role here, it seems like, but...
Not really.
Now that we've kind of gotten into it, it seems pretty interesting.
Hang on a minute. The big bomb bag was a purple rupee. Was the big bomb bag and All Knight's mass purchase both 50s, or did we misinterpret that? Have we therefore not seen All Knight's mass purchase? Meanwhile, Fifth Whammy's doing aliens for Captain's Hat.
I guess if we misinterpret it and it's important, we'll find out. But it also, we may never know.
Pojo's gonna get Great Fairy Mask here and be annoyed.
Yeah, for sure.
Little fun fact about aliens, the dog actually will point at the nearest alien.
Good dog.
So you actually do know what the dog doing in this case.
The dog doing good.
Yeah, so I think if you kill the aliens after, it's either 3:45 or 4, any respawning aliens beyond that point don't have enough time to make it to the barn. Because I think 5:15 is... Yeah, I think 5:15 is when the siege ends.
Yeah, I can't quite remember what time frame it is, but I think what you're saying sounds right.
Alright, nothing on the Dinalphos.
Oh, we're a little bit late, but happy 1 hour. I was in the middle of talking, noticed it, and then I forgot about it for a minute. Wow, geez. What an insanely action-packed hour, though. Just, like, everything has been here.
Yeah, this has been a pretty crazy, especially the last 20 minutes has been getting real spicy. Like, it actually, this seed's been kind of going, firing on all cylinders almost the whole hour, let's be real here.
Yeah, it's definitely just one of those things that happens in a, like, quicker / like, jet seed. Just, like, non-stop. And then now we're at the point where it's just a lot of progression and execution, but...
Whoops. I don't think that's what Dat was trying to do there, but...
Yeah, quick shout out, thank you to Shan for restreaming and tracking, and Neuro for coming in and tracking and doing a bunch of other important stuff as well. Thank you guys for making that happen. And thank you to Boo, Pojo, Dad, and Fifth for putting on a good race.
Putting on a good race, and
Thank you so much for joining me.
oh yes, certainly. Thank you, G. Thank you for joining me. All right, we're gonna get our stage lights check here. In logic, very early, courtesy of those fire arrows.
And then Pojo will presumably. Wait, does Pojo still have Mount Title Deed from?
I think so. Guess
No.
not.
Where was? Oh, Mount Title Deed was Observatory. Oh no. It's not that bad, but like, oh, that's gonna be annoying.
All right, so Aldawa is now out of the game.
Right, that's why it was so big that Fifth got it. Oof. Yeah, I think Fifth's kind of check skipping has hurt them too much. But for the rest of these runners, when do you go back to Observatory to get a mountain title deed?
Especially when there's no indication to go to Zora Hall at this point.
Right. There's
You're
not really
foolish-
so much indication to go anywhere. Like, you're pushing density at this point because you're like, I want to finish this seed as fast as possible, so of course I'm going to push the places with
Yeah.
the best track density.
Given
And I
the
wouldn't
knowledge
call
we...
one check there anything fast.
Not
especially for
particularly,
Pojo
yeah.
now. Like, I think the only way you could consider it is if you go to Observatory first, so that you route in Zora Hall and the Mountain Title Lead turn in. Well, because it's a part of Zora Hall. Otherwise, yeah, this just stinks. Damn, that is a maybe rough check for some runners. That could definitely be where a lot of trip up happens for people.
All right, Dad has just gotten Bank 2, which is a bottle.
No way! No way!
Can you say bailed out? Frustrated and bailed out.
Unbelievable game. Are you kidding me?
And that wallet, one of the wallets was in Snowhead Temple, right? So you
Was that
didn't
where
have
the
to
other one
do...
was? I think it was Woodfall Temple.
What was it, Woodfall Temple? It might have been Woodfall Temple. So
Yeah.
you didn't need to actually get Great Fairy Mask.
Nope.
How about that?
It certainly would have been nice to grab that bottle right then and there.
Now Dad's like,
But-
if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go pick up my Deku
Pain.
Princess now.
Come on, game. Alright, well now Dad's gonna go get ice arrows and is going to be able to clear GBT. So
And then
if for
it's-
some reason Dat gets the mountain title deed picked back up, we'll be able to just, like, Icona Access mode this game.
Oh, Pocho got the last hint. Mountain Village is foolish except for the song.
Wow.
Wait. Mountain Village is foolish except for the song? Huh? Did I read that right?
Wait, wouldn't Elder Goron be Twin Islands?
Yeah, Elder Goron's Twin Islands.
Elder Goron is multi-location. Oh, okay.
Oh, because on one of the days I think he's chilling in Village. Yeah, that's right. Because I think one of...
Let's go. Let's go fifth.
Yeah, that checks. Because, yeah, I think on day 3 you can find the Elder closer to Darmani's grave.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes... yeah, I know what I said, dang it. All right, Kotake, well, since we're finally getting this checked, Kotake has a heart piece. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. 'Cause he had New Wave, right?
You know what sucks though? Mountain Village is a little bit late of a foolish hint to be getting when we've already like tossed the place.
Yeah.
So,
Although I don't
thanks.
believe Bojo's done Smithy 1 or Darmani, so I guess that's 2 checks that they never have to do now.
That's fair.
But yeah,
See?
realistically speaking, it's not quite terribly timely.
Yeah, Fifth Whammy now has Hook.
Yep. Hopefully remembers to go back and get fire arrows, but I can very easily see them skipping that for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially since Epona was the Deku Palace, as in Deku Palace, and it could be interpreted as the Wath.
Right.
Especially since it led to light arrows in Great Bay Coast Tingle.
I think those light arrows are, well, also Epona, because I think that's the Icona map purchase, right?
The other one would have been Icona, yeah.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter either way. Epona's Wath. Lol. That's probably how I'd be reading that.
Wow. My compliments to Dad for making sure the brakes were tuned up there.
Yeah, I'd have pushed right through that. I'm too impatient. Yeah, Pojo and Boo are in very good spots, but it seems like Dat is at least slightly ahead in terms of progression. And obviously took advantage of the wallets that they've gotten. So... and there's Ice Arrows for Dat.
Imagine that, Deku Princess required for a change.
In my heart, she's always required.
Now, Boo has a bottle, right? Yeah, so she doesn't know about Bank 2 having one. So I just saw the silver rupee over there, so crossed my mind. Yeah, this, what song was on the Elder? It was New Wave.
Yep.
But yeah, chat brings up a great point. We had Butler, Aliens, and Swamp Spider House this seed.
We got to do some fun checks.
The early game trash package.
Yeah, we really did get to do something silly. I always quite like Ranchester's defense checks, though. At least in vanilla, they were some of my favorite parts of the game, just because I thought they were so cool. Although nobody tell Alexander Harold, because they hate aliens.
Ah. And
so
chat
far,
brings up
be required to. Might as well be. Although
like,
I think we are missing always.
We are missing the last always hint, which I swear, if it's the Don Garo hint and that is required for Garo Mass, although only
you might have to win the lottery at that point.
No, it's the other way around. Is you don't have me win the lottery because
yeah, I guess that's true.
Because at that point I've blown all my good luck on calling that garbage. I'm also trying to remember the always hints don't respect let me double check this. And chat can correct me. The always hints don't have that thing about the Watts where they have to show up before their required item, right? I'm not misinterpreting that.
I always thought always hints had to have hint logic too. Oh yeah, Bridge. The there's the lottery in West Clocktown, and it is enabled in these settings. It is a check.
Yeah, thankfully it is. It was earlier blown dead. It was a hard piece.
It's a very funny check that I did not know about for the literal longest time, because it's just always dead. Or maybe it wasn't even a check for a long time. I don't even know how long it's been. I think involved in the randomizing.
So Fifth Whammy's going to get a song here. This will be either Elegy or Oath.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we see an Elegy here. Oh.
Ooh.
No way.
I saw that too.
This will be very interesting if we see Gibdo.
Something potentially nice on Kita.
Actually, I think if we see Gibdo, a lot of runners are going to finish this seed extremely quickly.
Yeah, because
Outside
that's a
of the tag
pretty...
issue.
Yeah, because that is a pretty free spot for what's it's called, for Garagibdo.
Oh wait, this isn't Captain's Locked. Never mind.
No, it's not. It's locked by
That
Sonata.
keg could be a big issue for people now if this is Gibdo. Garagibdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully our runners remember the Mount Title Deed location and find a way to route that in.
Yeah, that's going to be really rough for all the wrong reasons, too.
5th. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a little more of a clench than that needed to be. To be fair, we know about double defense.
That was very close. And very scary.
Alright, is this the required item? No, it's another bottle!
Oh
Y'all could have
God.
had that since the second cycle!
Wow.
Now, luckily, Mount Smithy 2 is already confirmed dead, so that's a wasted, that gold dust doesn't need to be used for that. It's just boggling my mind that these bottles are all showing up and they're not nearly as trashy in trashy places as we have envisioned compared to the Snowhead Freezor Stray Fairy.
Yeah, this is pretty unbelievable. Just everything that's happened with the bottles.
It is good cash though for Fifth Whammy, and that could help get him another bottle on Bank 2, because Bank 2, an extra bottle is going to help, given that we do have we do need the bugs in Swamp Spider House.
Yeah, that absolutely is a good point.
Although apparently it's Fifth Whammy's first bottle.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't think 5th has gone into Swamp or no. And then I think also hasn't obviously done the bank check. But yeah, I think 5th is most likely to go in with several bottles.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Fifth Whammy already took a hit from that Iron Knuckle, so has to be real careful here.
If that wasn't this early in the fight, I would have said intentional for the Death Warp, but good lord.
Alright, so
Maybe
Boo's
it
now
was.
taking...
Fake it till you make it. We're gonna call it 5th. Great job taking the intentional hit there. Nice! And is gonna be able to Death Warp now. Very nice, 5th.
Alright, so Dad in the meantime is going to go to Zora Hall, probably do a couple of checks over there, and oh no, this is, yeah, gonna turn in the Lulu pick, and then probably go to Great Bay Temple. Or wait, does Dad have New Wave? Yeah, Dad has New Wave.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if GBT immediately gets cleared after. But
We haven't seen the GBT
sucks.
small key. We haven't seen the GBT small key yet, right?
no, I don't believe so.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Ward has it? Ward has Garagibdo.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess it would. It is always
Lower.
fun when we have some stuff.
Lower. Picto, please.
No, my god. These pictures look pretty good to me.
I think you actually have to have a zoom in of the head. Lulu's not even in the frame. Thanks, Picto. Thanks a bunch.
Oh, why is nice sword slash. I always love a good sword slash. There's been plenty of them today. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, Boo clearing up Swamp Spider House makes plenty of sense. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think to kind of just echo the Mountain Title Deed location, I don't think I blame any runners for kind of not doing that very quickly. I think it's extremely unfortunate that that's the location, well, one of the locations that you would find Mountain Title Deed here. It's pretty bad. Because spending all that time just to go get that one check and be that thorough feels really bad if it's just, like, in a dungeon. The keg, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's a matter of when does somebody decide to be that thorough? Will it be after a full clear Pirate's Fortress? Like, probably for a lot of people. Which is
Yeah.
I don't think anybody will get tripped up east, though. I think everybody has gotten that idea. Alright, it was Oath in Grave.
Okay, so that means
yeah,
Egos
Elegy
is...
Vanillogy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's completely fine. I think runners were kind of ready for that possibility.
Yeah, no, the East has just been, besides the Graveyard, completely deleted.
Yeah. Will we get a Decker Princess then? I doubt it. Just with the Butler. But, you never know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 today on 5th screen, so I think 5th already won. But apart from that, you never know. Maybe we'll see Princess to the Moon today. I always hope we do. 5th has to know. You would think.
Alright, so 5th is going to turn the gold dust. This is enough money for Bank 2, so this will give him a second bottle.
I don't know. I find it hard to believe that a runner with as much experience as 5th would skip a gold chest in a Wath area. But anything's possible. Could have forgotten for even just like the suckiest reason. Most runners will have to reset for ranch. Yeah. I think that's also a thing that's going to be kind of annoying as far as like routing time of day here with that keg location.
Yeah, because it's not
like,
even...
Otherwise, Dat could have gotten the keg, gotten all the keg out of the way, and then used GBT as final night time, but it's like, how would you know? How would you know the Observatory Mountain Title Deed is what you need?
Especially when it's unhinted.
Yep. Permanent Field strikes again. No, yeah, I really hope he goes back for it. Because he's not honestly even in that bad of a spot. But I think he's just been consistently losing a little bit of time to what has happened, even though he got some from getting the keg. And he probably will continue to get time from it. But if he just doesn't go back for it, it's just going to be... It's not even time loss at that point, it's just Seed losing. But...
Yeah, because it's not even just getting Romani's song. It's not even the song, it's aliens. And until the middle of that first night, you are sitting there doing nothing.
Yep.
Meantime, Dad's cruising through GBT here. Let's see if we find anything good in here. There are, I think, 4 Stray Fairy-related checks here. Yes.
So, yeah, I would not be surprised if we see Agaro or a Gibdo here.
Yeah, Beavers is dead since Cape is foolish.
I mean, shoot, they've got to be somewhere. What if Gibdo's on sound check?
It could be. That has been in play for an insanely long time.
Because we had Romani's mask pretty early, didn't we?
Yes.
And obviously we had all 3 transforms in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, Romani's mask was in Ranch. I believe it was on the doggy racetrack roof, and that was nice and early courtesy of Hookshot, if not Beans and Bag 2 bottle or something. I don't know. At this point, I don't know what bottle the game was thinking we should have gotten at this stage.
Yeah. I think the bank one makes a lot of sense, though. But I don't know. We just got Beaver's dead.
Oh, wait, Beaver... Oh, it's Swamp Spider House. Okay, that's our last always.
Alright, they're done. Very nice. Yeah, that means that's probably where our last one is in Icona. Last.
Unfortunately, that also means Don Garo can't be hinted. Yeah. There goes my There goes my cynical Milk Bar second purchase required theory.
I will say though, you gave yourself an absolute boost for your like Plando ideas resume.
Funny that because I don't even make those. Also, yeah, Chad points out Beaver's dead in a foolish cape. Thanks, game.
Yeah. classic thanks game for giving us absolutely nothing of value. Well, that's not true. It gave us the last always, so we're done now with that, but I think we all had that feeling. We're still holding out hope for that frog.
This is a trade item. Pendant. Ice arrow? Excuse me?
I can't believe Dad did notice that. I would never have noticed that.
Hitbox,
jumped right in.
Hitbox, hello?
Oh. Then Link gave up on that jump. That's cool. Thank you, Game Part 2.
Good old Dark Souls baby jump.
Yeah, Daz cruised through 3 dungeons now. Pojo, right on their tail. Missing that Zora jump there that I've never understood how to do. Where was the beer? Yeah, it was the Zora Hall Scrub. It was the Mountain Title Deed trade. And Mountain Title Deed is on Observatory. Which all runners probably know about and or remember. Well, yeah, I guess it's more probably remembered, definitely have all done.
Yeah.
But... Oh god, sorry.
Nah, you were gonna say what I was gonna say, so never mind. Oh, okay, Boo, just clip it through fire. Fine, have it your way, game.
Literally the but when do you even do that kind of situation. Because when do you do that? In my shoes, I don't do that for forever. And I've seen enough of these runners play enough games to know that most of them are probably not going to do that for a while. Except for Fifth, who routed it in a very inventive way. I think Fifth would be in a phenomenal spot if only they'd gotten the fire arrows and not skipped the hook their first time through Road to Southern Swamp.
Yeah, the hook, not the hook, rather, the fire is the real big problem right now for Fifth Whammy, because otherwise, yeah, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, he would be in a fantastic... He'd probably be further ahead, too, just because when you have hook and fires earlier, you get some extra, like, speed from different checks that Fifth has done.
So yeah, this underwater barrel here is also a check. More money.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one for the longest time, either.
I mean, it could still be Bank 3 Garo Gibdo. That would help with the Swamp Wath.
Yeah, although the Swamp Wath is filled by Mirror Shield now.
Probably, yeah, it's probably Mirror. As much as we would love it to be something even more sinister.
Yeah, unfortunately, just the song item because we need the song. Because we do need Elegy, as it turns out. Also very cool to actually see the fire and ice arrows in this little room here that Dat's in. Normally runners in standard usually just do execution through it without using much of anything, just other than jumps. Also been messing around with FDA a lot in that room, and it is a ton of fun. They should bring Big Man to standard. I don't know if that's actually a good idea or not, I just think it's funny.
I don't know if it is one of the settings that's been experimented with at all.
I don't believe it is. I can ask Revan later, but I don't believe it is.
Oh, wow. You know something? That's actually been one glaring omission from today. FD before remains. Since when do we not have that?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen that either. Shan, we appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you have done. Hello. And preach Big Man! No Big Man today so far. And maybe not at all. It'll make me sad.
It could be just on Twin Mold's Heart Container. We have Giant's Mask in Logic courtesy of the Mountain Scrub.
Yeah, it could be. No chance of seeing Instant Transform Mask. I think I remember people being against it because of all of the different execution, like, things that it adds in and just kind of increases the gap of skill or something. I, like, very vaguely remember people talking about it, but I actually don't know that much. I don't have any opinions either way. Of course, I play with it when I play by myself, but that's just because I want to spend less time. Do everything as fast as possible. Because I am slow.
Sorry, I'm too busy bopping here.
It is a good song playing. Yeah. I feel like that's like loosely what I remember seeing too. Well, it's kind of the same thing. It's like the skill gap between a runner who knows all of that tech versus a runner who doesn't. Which I know is something that a lot of people find very important in Standard, is to make the skill gap like theoretically smaller so that players can have an easier time learning and having fun. But either way, yeah, like I said, I don't know too much, nor have much of an opinion.
Well, Dad, if you are so compelled to get another bottle, you can get one off a Fisherman's game. That is
Triple
3.
speed in Swamp Spider House by sacrificing all of that time playing Fisherman's game. Yeah, that's 3 dungeons down for Dan Lawson.
Yeah, he's hanging in there.
Pojo's not too far away.
Fifth Whammy is turning around back to Deku Palace. This is should get him fire arrows along if he decides to detour back for the chest. Hopefully he remembers.
Yeah, hopefully Fifth picks the fires up before going for Butler. But...
Wait a second, fire and ice were both here. That just clicked.
The Deku were stealing the goods today. Fire and ice.
Alright, room key is nothing.
Yes! Let's go, Fifth!
Alright. This is a big break for Fifth Whammy. This is gonna put him in a great spot.
Yeah, I think Fifth definitely has lost enough time to. Any advantage that Fifth might have had is just, like, gone, maybe even isn't, like, farther behind the other 3 Restream runners. But is in the race again. It's a good job with Fifth.
Well, the other thing is, keep in mind also that everybody else needs to still go grab that keg. And the keg is out of the way right now for everybody especially everybody who's already done GBT.
That's true, I did misspeak. The lead hasn't evaporated, it's just the temporary lead that has. But as it stands, yeah, that keg info is enormous for Fifth.
Alright, now Fifth, have fun clearing almost the entire game except the East, looking for Garo Gibdo.
Yep.
On that note, can we please make a bet for either Garo or Gibdo, seeing as that is our last remaining item?
It's a shame question if Shane's still here. If we could do the Icon Access.
And to clarify, Keg was on the Mountain Title Deed turn-in Zora Hall, the Mountain Title Deed of which is currently located on the Observatory Moon's Tier check.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of places that we haven't checked. I believe
all of Pirate's Fortress.
And Bank 3. And maybe A&M Purchase. That actually might be it.
It could be. I mean, it would make a Woth wallet in Swamp makes more sense, even though it's, again, probably just whatever it was we've been discussing for the last 2 hours.
Because Fifth checked Grave, we already checked Ranch, we already checked...
That was a smooth bomb skip ball from Dat.
I think it literally is just in Pirate's Fortress, actually.
More likely it is, but you still want to hope for Bank 3 if you're the cynical guy.
100%. Bank 3 would be like the insane option. That being said, that really does make me think how much runners will clear. I think the other reason I'm not like sold at Pirate's Fortress exactly yet, because I can't remember what like early / Clocktown checks they have or haven't checked. Because I know the ferry in North Clocktown and Deku Playground were checked by multiple runners, not all of them.
Minigames were all checked as well.
Minigames were checked. I guess
Couples
just checked is the only thing I can think of that hasn't been checked.
Yeah, and that isn't in East Clocktown, so for all we know, it could just be a Woth Gibdo mask there and not the Zora mask that was available to us within the first 20 minutes. But hey-ho.
But yeah. As far as Restream knows, we do not have many places where the Icon Access can be, but Mojo lock himself out of the keg.
Oh, good, Shen, you're here. Can you open?
So wait.
Yeah, Shen, can you open up a bet for where is our Icona access mask, please? Because that's pretty much all we're looking for at this stage.
Pretty much all we have been looking for half an hour.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Which is very silly. So we're an hour and a half in. Can you not do the Mount Title Deed trade after GBT's cleared?
I think you can. But the only downside is that you still have to use the keg before night 1. Well, no, you can use it on night 1, because you don't have to talk to Ramana to get the aliens reward. You just have to defend the barn on night 1.
Yeah, keg is Mountain Title Deed trade. Which just like, even with Bank 3 on the table, I think that might be a last location for some of these runners. It might be for me if I was playing. Like,
I mean, it is very out of the way, and I guess we don't have it like Mystery where title deeds come back with you in, which makes sense because it's S4 settings. So yeah, title deeds don't come back with you on Song of Time.
Yeah, I think Pojo and Dat would both be in Go mode right now. Actually, no, they would be in Go mode right now because they both cleared Hall.
All right, we do now have a bet.
It was on Observatory. Yeah. So it's like a check that they all probably know, but it's like, blech.
Not just Observatory, the Moon's tier. The Moon's tier specifically.
Yes,
so
yes.
It is out of the way by now. On that note, the bet is now open for where is your Icona mask? I heard that music.
Get the walls going.
I hate to say this, but I think somebody already checked Ocean Spider House chest, by the way.
I believe 5th did.
Like, wicked early. Before 5th even had, like, hook.
Oh yeah, no one did Gorman race, did they?
Yeah, same Fox. I'm really missing trade items back through time right now. Like I said, Dat and Pojo would both be in Go mode right now.
We are getting sound check from Pojo, however.
Sound check would be very funny.
NPC Hint should be on a long quest round. I could see that.
Alright, 5th Whammy's gonna get Song of Healing here. 5th never got Song of Healing? Okay.
Yeah, I guess not.
5th has been doing a lot of, like, other progression.
Whoop. Pojo having a Songs Are Hard moment. Alright, is it sound check? Oh, that's right, 5th didn't get magic until pretty late. And yeah, you're seeing final day Goron Elder just chilling right here in the village. And 5th knows that Mountain Village is foolish except the song, so this is relevant. He knows that.
Did we find GBT? I don't think we have found a GBT small.
We did not.
Yeah, I think the extension of this seed being Pirate's Fortress is the Icona access is if it's a small key and then it leads you to Wart. Which would be really comedic.
Oh, that would be insulting.
Which is still entirely likely, because, like, where else are our small keys for GBT going to be? I imagine one of them can at least be in Cape. If expect you to do other ones, but I don't know if that's one of those items that can, like, never be foolish.
I don't know, but I know that,
it can be, okay.
Okay, can be, okay. So we're really not going to know unless we basically toss Pirate's Fortress, is what that comes down to. So yeah, at this point we're down to Pirate's Fortress, the entirety of Pirate's Fortress, the Clifford Ledge, and Bank 3. That's all we've got. And possibly All Knight's mass purchase. Unless we totally just didn't look correctly, and both the Big Bomb Bag and the All Night Smash Purchase are both 50 rupees.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of runners do a lot of cleanup because they have skipped a number of checks. Reasonably so, too. But as far as restream's concerned, yeah, we do just expect PF to have the goods. Somehow, some way.
So
but it could be Wedge, it could be Bank 3.
Yeah, Dat is now within striking range of Bank 3, just needs another full wallet.
Was Boo picking up Mirror before finding Keg? Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That's what I was saying earlier, where it's like, you want to put off the mirror until you, like, are positive about what the song situation is.
Well, in this case, I think our runners know for a fact that either way, you can't get to Icona, because the last two songs are Oath and Elegy. Either way, you're not finishing this until you get Garo Gibdo first. So I think our runners have connected the dots on that front.
I think the idea is just that in everybody but Fifth's shoes, Storms is still on the table and could have been the song on Egos. So doing all of Swamp Spider House could have just been a time sink for Storms in theory.
And Fifth is going to see the bottle
is on something like Bank 3. Aliens is the big time sink. Yep.
Yeah, Aliens is a time sink. Swamp Spider House is a time sink. That's why Swamp Spider House should have the peak, and Aliens is a hint, is a priority hint.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see if Fifth Whammy chooses to get the bottle or not. I think he has Great Fairy Mask, so it would be a quick pickup, but...
Yeah, I agree, Fox. I think it's just fair
Whoops.
to, like you were saying earlier, like, I think it's fair to put off Mirror. Because it doesn't lose you any time to put it off a certain amount. But it is very likely to have the song in their heads, and then, yeah, obviously Fifth would know that for sure.
Yeah, Fifth unfortunately backtracked off the ledge and fell straight down, so has to backtrack a little to get the key, but that's going to make his life very easy. Alright. I believe Dat is...
Yeah, Dat's
5
farming,
rupee.
And Pojo's getting Bank 3 right now, and it's Bomb Juice.
Oh, never mind.
Alright, go to Pirate's Fortress. Have fun.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That's where Pojo's headed. Does Pojo not have light arrow? Oh no, Pojo does. Okay. Oh, Boo doesn't have light arrows.
Interesting.
I was looking at the wrong tracker.
Yeah, because light arrows are on Great Bay Tingle, so those aren't, like, hard to come by.
Yeah, I'm just surprised Boo doesn't have it, but I guess maybe Boo hasn't even been out west?
Boo literally using the closing time to get outside faster.
Boo's here on Clifford.
Oh, is that where that... Oh.
God, what if that's it?
It'd be some nice spice if it is.
If anybody bails on that, on going to Pirate's Fortress just to check that Moon's Tier for Icon Access and wins off of that, or like gets a better time off of that, that's... I would be slamming my head against the desk. That's really funny. Yes, Fox, it really is. You get Keg to do Aliens to happen forever.
Yeah. It's not quite enough of a chain for me to write down for interview, but it's still a pretty good one, because Mountain Title Deed was pretty early.
Yeah, it's not long enough, but it is literally just the silliest way to include aliens in an oath hunt. Which, speaking of, would that help? Would an oath hunt help that? Like, would the runners be able to beat most of the seed, get the Oath hint, and then would it hint Zora Hall?
Well, Oath would be... Well, they can't because Elegy is on Egos. And either way, you gotta find that first. You gotta find Icona Access first.
Oh, no, yeah, I meant for if they find...
well, Oath will hint Captain's Hat.
If they find
because...
Icona Access and then go beat everything else and they don't have Keg.
Well, the problem is Keg...
help them with Keg.
The problem is Keg doesn't lock Oath. Keg locks Storms. So, in that case, no, because...
the Oath hint started at that point in the chain.
No, the Oath hint starts at the song item that is necessary for Oath, which in this case is Captain's Hat.
Okay, so it would just hint Ranch?
It would just hint Ranch, yes.
Okay. Why does this race feel longer than it's actually... I think literally just because of always hints. Like, not because of the always hints, but because of the checks. Like, just having Butler and Aliens, I think, has literally just artificially inflated the time of this seed.
Not to mention Swamp Spider House on top of that.
Then just, like, Icona Access is just outside of progression. Just randomly.
Yeah, like, given all the knowledge we've picked up, like, this Icona Access being all the way out in Pirate's Fortress, where there is literally no hint to tell you to go west. And also, who knows if it's behind a lens check? Like Shiro. As Neuro
yeah,
just
and the
bet.
seed's going to get even longer because of the Keg location.
Oh,
because
hold
nobody's
on.
going to find that for a while.
This is a big chest. Next thing you know, this is just biggest bomb bag.
Nobody except Fifth, obviously, because Fifth hasn't. All Night's Mask.
All Night's Mask is even better. Too bad it's night of the final day. You're not checking that now. Although, to be fair, it does convince Pojo to keep going and not bail right out.
Ugh. I almost bet that. I almost bet Long Story. But I was like, it's gotta be Hookshot Chest.
Also, I'm a dummy. We don't have Shop Sanity, so the blue potion on the witches could never be randomized anyway. So yeah, Sniffa was way off the table today.
Yeah, Sniffa just had to be for, well, as per usual.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah,
chest,
yeah. That's the
chest down. Chest down there looks like junk. This chest looks like a big gilded. Postman's even more fetch quests.
There's all the garbage. Pirate's Fortress had the crapper today.
Now that's more like it.
This is the MMR I know and love. Get some stinkers going, game. Keep it going.
Unfortunately,
no, my bet.
yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't
No
seem
bees.
like it doesn't seem like today our Go mode is guarded by bees.
At least you got to hear it. That's fantastic. Tomorrow Mask, Cafe Mask, Bremen Mask of Truth. Yeah, I think Midnight Meeting got hinted, but
yes, Midnight Meeting was hinted dead a while ago.
We could have Rose's Sisters.
Well, Cafe Mask could still do us some good for Madame Aroma and Bar, I think.
Oh yeah, that check. Oh yeah. Heaton Mask. My God.
Keep going. Keep going.
Come on, game. Give us some more bait.
Halt.
Chain bait with bait. Put Cafe Mask on the Postman's check. And then put Mask of Truth on it. On the Madame Roma and the bar.
Oh.
And are we missing any title deeds? Is this Swamp title deed?
Could be Swamp, yeah. Oh, no, it's the second bean. Would have been funnier if that was the Great Bay Small. And then we still have the sewers, so there's still a couple more items left here.
Yep. Fifth having a little bit of trouble with the positioning. Let's go here.
Yeah, is making it work. Firing his arrows a little too fast, but
nice.
yeah.
That was scary. Nice job, Fifth. Dude, Fifth having some really close calls today.
Yeah, Fit's been recovering pretty nicely from some errors today.
Absolutely. I will say, it's been a joy watching Fifth, like, since... God, when did I start watching Fifth?
Small chest, crossing fingers. Oh, Swamp Title D. Still good enough.
Alright, so now we see another small gilded. We get to cheer. But,
yeah.
Yeah, Fifth has improved a lot.
So that's now... What bait did we find in Pirate's Fortress? We found Swamp Title Deed, All Knight's Mask, Keaton Mask, and Postman's Hat. So yeah, it sounds like we have no sign of GBT small, so I think that means it's foolish.
Is Keaton quiz enabled? My mystery brain wants to say no, but I'm pretty sure it's enabled like normal. Alright, let's see if it's Moon's tier.
It is!
And it's the freaking GBC ledge for Gibdo. I wonder where Garo is now. But... Yup. So now it's a question of when the hell do you go for Keg?
Yeah, in Fifth Whammy's
Especially
case...
because it's oath. Like, when do you go for that?
Exactly,
because
that is out of the way. Yeah, at this point, Garo's probably just in some back-end corner of Secret Shrine or something. We're not getting that today. Although, that being said, later down the road, Shen, we are going to want that in the log.
I think at this rate, I think Fifth may just win explicitly on the fact that they got the Hall Keg. Win Restream, I mean. Like, I just would not be surprised if Pojo and Dat put that check off for freaking forever.
Yeah, because Fifth Whammy is going to complete GBT here and then probably just do PF looking for Garo Gibdo, and then that should be the end of it. Assuming he checks Clifford.
Yeah, I think the only way Fifth could get tripped up is if they don't get Cliffy.
Alright, Swamp Title D turn is another...
Moon's tier and you go, I need to make sure I have that. I don't know, this is just like... Oh, that Keg location is so bad. It's not even like a settings thing, that's just such an unfortunate spot.
Boo just lost the Gilded Sword.
Oh no! Takuri got a little hungry.
Yeah, that's kind of yikes. But luckily, Boo has a Giant's Wallet, so she can grab that back, no problem.
Yeah, it's just always a pain when that happens, but... Yeah, either way. So, at this point in the seed, if you're Pojo, am I correct in assuming that STT actually can have checks? Like, they're probably going to clear out everything but Mirror first, or at least it looks like they're trying to be a little more thorough in that direction. But let's say they go for Mirror before the Mountain Title Deed trade. Can they reasonably do Egos and then do STT? Like, would that make any logical sense? For Keg?
Yes, because Captain's Hat, Captain's Hat is only locking Oath. It is not locking anything behind GBT or anything else related to Zoramask. So the answer to that question is yes. It is possible from that standpoint that Logic could foresee a potential item in GBT. Hi, Lens.
Would runners think that? Because if they would, this seat stinks.
Well, Grandma just gave us a Lens, unfortunately.
More bait. More bait.
Alright, Boo is about to get lights. And actually, Boo, the way Boo was going for those lights, it's possible that was intentionally delayed, if only because light arrows were going to be useless at this point, given that Icona Access was our go mode.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be the red potion purchase for Shiro from Pojo.
Very curious to see what Pojo's play will be here, because I think Pojo has the most non-keg info.
Yeah, especially because, Pojo's early range play paid off nice and early for the Ice Arrow, and Captain's had knowledge, but unfortunately the keg being behind the scenes here is really going to be screwing him up a little.
Yeah, I think in most seeds, Pojo should absolutely be like ready to finish this, and Dat right behind them. Like those two should have had amazing times, but just that keg location, it's like, when do you ever route that in early?
Yeah.
Unless you were like planning on it from earlier on. But you know what? Props to Fifth for being that heads up about it. But I think it's perfectly reasonable that was like an orphanable check for most people. It just sucks.
This is going to be a very interesting interview.
For sure. Probably a lot of people who are like, in their heads, like, I played fine, what the hell? And it's like, yeah, no, you did. You did good. The Seed didn't. Seed was mean. Seed was like, I'm gonna be a jet that's just gonna stink it up a little.
Alright, so Shiro was the Milk Bar milk purchase.
Very funny.
So we know where that ran off to now.
I'm not making any jokes if Shan's listening about milk, though.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, that's a good point. Who won the bet? Since we did find the answer. Yeah. Well, did anybody bet Clifford or Town Scrub?
Absolutely nobody won that bet. Yeah, I know somebody brought Clifford up, but I don't think anybody bet it.
Wait, nobody won that bet? How? Nobody bet somewhere stupid?
No way! Nobody did the alley bet?
Because I think we could qualify Moon's tier trade-in from Clifford as somewhere stupid. Yep, absolutely nobody. That's everybody thought it was in PF.
I won the bet!
Or Wart.
Hooray! And look at that! Kirby won the bet, and so did Demon Crusher, and so did Number Play! Hooray! We're all winners. Except for Neuro. They just got screwed.
Sorry, what?
Neuro, I'm just kidding. I love you. You're great.
Alright, so Dat is now going to Swamp Spider House for Mirror Shield, it looks like.
Yeah,
Boo in the meantime just got Garo Mask. I think. Because I know I saw Boo get Moon's tier. Yes, no, or am I imagining things?
I have no idea. I trust you. I was totally watching fifth screen.
Because, yeah, the scrubs couldn't have relocated or anything, so...
Wait, so where? Keg is Mountain Title Deed trade in Zora Hall, and Mountain Title Deed is an Observatory.
Observatory... Observatory Moons tier specifically.
Yes, thank you.
That Bombchu is looking to take a bite out of 5th there, but luckily that didn't happen. Alright, he's going to do a gainer here to get up top there. Alright, Red Rupee on the Icona Ledge. The Ocean Title Deed was also found on Goat. So, in some people's mind, that could also be Keg.
Yeah. This seed really did just pick the crappiest item to put in a bad spot. Like, even just swap Icona Access and Keg, and this seed's, like, a little better.
Well, actually, I would say that even makes it worse, because if you get the early, well, actually, no.
It's because you would pick up the Keg a lot earlier, and then
yeah,
you would get physically locked out of East. And after you do Pirate's Fortress, there are so few checks left. Like Pojo and Dat would probably both be getting that item right about now.
Yeah, and they would be definitely, and in this case, they would be ignoring Shrine.
Right. Yeah, it just physically locks you out of East because you need it to get there versus, like, Keg just doesn't lock anything. Except for grave checks.
Alright, Whammy almost lost control of that George fight there, but again, recovered pretty nicely. That's been kind of the theme of his bosses so far today. I thought for sure he was about to get eaten because of how that works, but...
Oh wait, the chant can hear us. I'm still gonna read it out. Mountain Village be foolish, except song and...
So, like, ooh. I think I understand what Shan's asking. In the case where Goron Elder's song is the only thing required, can you have 2 hints in the same seed where Mountain Village is foolish except song and Twin Islands is Wath?
That would make sense if that is possible. Like, that's actually what I would assume is possible.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question
no required items in Mountain Village. But...
Well, the problem would have to be then
wouldn't
that
Twin Islands also be foolish except song?
Yeah, because the problem would have to be that if Twin Islands is Way of the Hero, then that means the song has to lead to something else important because it's directly hinting the song.
Yeah, actually, it feels like the hints would mimic each other.
So more than likely, you would get 2 locations that are foolish except for the song.
Does that work for boss? Oh, that's a good thought, Nero. I actually don't know.
Alright, well, 5th Whammy has taken down George here, so
I've
that's
never thought of that. It's really interesting.
So Pojo is... What is Pojo... Oh yeah, Pojo's looking for Garagibdo at this point.
Everybody's going east. Yeah, and reasonably so. This has just not been very friendly to the...
Alright, so now 5th Whammy is going to go get Mirror Shield.
Yeah. Keg Spy is so stinky. Thank you, Nero. I forgot. Shan needs us to type. In 3 swamp spider house clears here.
Simultaneous 2-hour mark swamp spider house clears. Meanwhile, Boo's going to get Vanilla G.
What a seed. Like, actually, how does this happen?
Do you really want to know the answer to that question?
No, because Shan's the one who rolled it. I already know the answer.
Exactly my point.
Ugh. Some people just have that talent.
Yeah, I mean, I know the feeling. I used to be a champion weekly seed roller in Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer. I've just been kind of
glad I
out
don't
of.
play that randomizer then.
I've just been out of the loop lately, so I haven't been rolling weeklies for a few months.
Right. Simbogan. Yeah, I think Boo did get Gibdo.
But no, it got to a point when I was commentating that I would, at the midpoint, after we just made a discovery, just go, "Welcome to my weeklies."
I'm sure if nothing else, they were extremely entertaining.
Oh, they were. Alright, so Dat's going to be our first to grab Mirror Shield here. So I have a feeling Dat and Pojo are also both going to head up to Icona.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it makes sense.
Although,
I feel like
actually,
a lot of people are going to get tripped on that, whoever's playing the weekly tonight.
yeah. Although Pojo is still missing out on Gibdo Mask. Looks like hasn't picked up. Does Pojo have Moon's Tier?
Pretty sure Pojo
Yes.
was actually the first one to get Gibdo.
Oh yeah, no, it's marked. Marked on the personal tracker. My B.
Yeah. All good. Is it not marked on Restream Tracker? We can always...
Yeah, it's not marked on Restream.
Yeah, I've had all the Restream Trackers hidden on the commentary page.
Yeah, everybody at this point, everybody besides Fifth is just going, "Where is this keg?"
Yep. As they should be. Because... why would... just wild location.
Yeah. Keg casinos are like one of the worst. And the worst thing is, it's not even a keg casino for, as we mentioned before, it's not even a keg casino for the Romani song. It's a keg casino for Captain's Hat to get Oath on Graveyard.
Yeah, this is a classic Oath Hunt kind of scenario. It's so bad that even Oath Hint isn't bailing us out. That's how you know it was bad. Yeah, it just sucks too, because the runner's execution have been pretty good too. Like, I haven't noticed anything like super bad.
Yeah, so Fifth is probably not have enough time to finish, as Chat points out. Might not be enough time, even though he's inverted now. There's still probably not enough time to get Elegy and do Stone Tower Temple in time.
I think you are.
Because at this point, that's also assuming Fifth doesn't. Fifth immediately beelines the Moon's Tier and then turns around without diving PF, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah. It would be nice
because-
if Fifth could finish it up here, but yeah, I think you're right that it's a little too close.
Yeah, and I've often said this a lot, is that in a casino scenario, you're either going to prioritize density and hope it falls on your lap, or you're going to go for the one-offs and hope your opponents don't find it. But in this case, it looks like everybody's been going for density so far, so...
Yeah, I think the only other thing you can do in this scenario is route things efficiently so that you're wasting as little time as possible if you expect, like, a crappy location full clear. But I think that that's one of those things that you just very rarely play into.
Yeah, Pojo picked up a blue potion, so Pojo is foreseeing the well here, which we know that's not the case anymore. What was that up there, anyway? Not anything important, evidently. Otherwise, we would definitely see them pull out the fire arrows.
Really nice corrections there by Down. My lord. Those were so quick.
Indeed. Excuse me a moment.
Absolutely. Alright, Pojo doing egos here. Oy. It is still incredible that this scene has turned out the way that it has. I feel like any of these runners could have ended up with like an amazing time. And just things have become so unfortunate. I really am curious why 5th skipped Road to Southern Swamp Archery. I think that really lost them more time than it needed to. Otherwise, he'd probably be doing a lot of other things right now. It looks like Boo got lights at some point. Good, I didn't notice that, but obviously they need that. And he's heading back up to STT. Going to ISTT makes perfect sense. Yeah, and I think Pojo and Dat, once they've both got Elegy and go up Stone Tower, will probably do the same. Yeah, Boo's just absolutely playing as well as anybody else here on this restream. I agree with Fox earlier that I don't necessarily love going for Mirror before Keg Knowledge, but yeah, this seed literally put it that direction, so it didn't really matter. I think in other cases, though, it would have made more sense not to do that. And in retrospect, it's still just like, oh no. There's more bait. These one-off item baits are just getting worse. I don't know what's gonna trip up who. Yeah, I believe there's 7 fairy chests that are enabled in Chaotical First Stone Tower. Yeah. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4 fairies in inverted and 3 in uninverted. So these runners will have more. Oh, there's FD. Really?
Oh, don't tell me that was all the way in Stone Tower Temple.
I mean, I won't say it. I'll just let the game show it to you. Someone else's screen. Is that
Okay.
technically able to be done? That's doable before Remains, right? In what universe would you ever do it? But
Not the only one. You have to get Oldawas first because ice arrows are needed.
oh yeah, you logically do need that. Out of logic, these runners could have all gotten that first because that's definitely something any runner would ever do. Big man! Thank you,
Yeah,
Vic.
he certainly took his sweet time.
Oy.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are 7 Stray Fairy-related checks in Stone Tower Temple, so Stone Tower does become a pretty powerful temple if it's not already the end of the game.
Yeah, there's 4 in inverted and 3 in uninverted.
Now, did 5th Whammy get the Moon's Tier?
It was in the room past this scar, right? I believe.
No, it was on Clifford.
No, that was in GBC Ledge, right? Did they get Moon's Tier?
I don't see it marked. I don't like this.
Maybe gonna get thrown out and check it? I don't see why you wouldn't just get it on the way in, though. Oh no. Yeah, 5th has had 2 solid chances to just, like, get a really good finish time. And it's just lost time to skipping things. Like, I understand not being, like, explicitly thorough in this situation. But at the same time, like, I don't see much of a reason to not at least peek GBC Ledge.
Oh, hello, Extended Magic.
Very nice. And yeah, I don't see a reason why anyone would skip Southern Swamp Archery when 5th did. Unless just brain fart, in which case I absolutely understand.
Yeah, that's happened to me too. Recently.
Like walking by it. Brain farts are always a fair reason to miss checks. It happens. We're all human.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
fifth
fifth.
Moon's tier. Boom ain't gonna be in a very good spot. It really just depends for the non-fifth runners. Who the hell's gonna figure out where Keg is? Well, figure out, just stumble into it. By being like, yeah, that mountain title lead from like minute 5? Or for Dat, like the end of cycle 3? Or end of cycle 1, excuse me. Ugh. I don't envy these runners right now. This is why everyone hated the Oath Casino.
Yeah, what is worse is that our runners are going to get the oath hint and it's going to be useless.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, thanks. They may not even go for it because they may just know that it won't be useful. I'd go for it, but that's only because I wouldn't have known had Fox not said so earlier. I would have assumed it would point to Keg. Only because that's the start of the chain. Or maybe even would have pointed to Mountain Title Deed and said Termina Field. I just would have instantly been like, what? Yeah, it'll just point to Ranch, which stinks.
Uh-oh. Fifth is pulling out the Song of Soaring.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wait.
bad.
He's going straight back. Maybe he did pick up the Moon's Tier.
I hope.
Nope. Nope. Disaster has struck.
So yeah, now we just have no idea where this seed's gonna take us. Because it's all just what these runners like do. I just don't see why you don't check ledge there. Like, I literally just have to imagine that fifth just wasn't thinking of it. Like, I don't see any reason to intentionally skip it there. Because that's just asking to fall prey to exactly what's happening right now.
Especially considering Fifth Whammy put off fire arrows for so long.
Right. Like, I get feeling behind, but you actually don't lose, like... It feels like any time to checking GBC ledge, because you just peek it and then jump right down. Like, I can see skipping other on-the-way checks if you feel like you're behind and you need to save that time. But I don't know. I think maybe fifth, if fifth is doing meta, I think probably also wouldn't have put together the fact that Mountain Title Deed's actually kind of bad for people. Because fifth went west early. Because it made sense for them to. Because no fires and hook. Well, mostly no fires. Whereas the other runners actually got the fires, and it was like, there's no reason to go west. So they cycled before they'd ever need to go, you know, jump that gate. So fifth isn't metaing in that direction, but is like, I'm behind meta. And this is why most people don't encourage using meta thought when you try to make decisions in rando. Because it's too easy to trip yourself up when you should just be solving seed. Makes sense to me.
Oh. Hold on, fifth is not cycle resetting.
Death is soaring.
Going back to village? Oh, Darmani. Late lens. Wait.
Didn't they get the foolish hint?
I was about to say, Whammy doesn't have lens anyway, and yeah, it's foolish. What am I thinking?
I was pretty positive they got that hint.
At least I've got fifth Whammy up, fifth Whammy's audio up, and he's got Eclipse of the Moon as his final hours.
Dying for Goron. Small title deed turn in? Maybe?
Yeah, that's what it is. Swamp Tidal D-turn-in.
They must have just forgotten GBC Ledge. Like, if you're gonna be this thorough, you don't just skip that to save time. This must have been a mistake, and that really sucks. This 5th would absolutely just be steamrolling if they didn't make those errors. I guess this is one way to learn. And 5th still may come out of this with a good finish spot. Especially because this is a weekly to test out Chaotical. What have you thought so far, Captain? I've thought this has been really pretty interesting.
Yeah, like the small keys in regions hasn't had like a huge detriment to the runners. Like we haven't gone hunting for a small key. Like if Thwart was required, we'd be singing a much different tune. But
right.
The lack of a Pona start, I mean, the lack of a Pona start kind of blew a wath, which I wonder if that also didn't help the routing scenario.
Yeah, I kind of am with you there that I think Epona start probably would have saved several runners here. But I think otherwise I've enjoyed quite a bit of this. It's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, so Boo's literally going to get the hint and be like, yeah, thanks, that you're not helping.
Yep. I think something else that sucks too is like the Mount Title Deed situation. That's not even like a seed settings thing. That's just like, it was just in a spot that smelled bad. Useless health hint. Thank you, game. I definitely really liked regional small keys though. It was a pretty interesting setup, and I would love to see them become like actually important more in the future. More seeds in it.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, the hints were actually very good to us today. They told us where a lot of important stuff was. Unfortunately, not the important thing that everybody else is missing.
Yeah, but it was some pretty fun hints. You had a lot going on that first hour because of it too. And then yeah, the amount of the other 3 runners have just all played very well.
They've practically been playing They're practically playing Simon Says at the moment. They've been kind of doing that all day.
Yeah.
Except Pojo, because Pojo made that early dive into Ranch, which did help at first. But unfortunately, now everybody is missing that keg.
I think that Pojo's route was my favorite of those 3 runners, because in most cases with item placement, they would have been ahead. However, Dat has also made like a lot of really solid plays. And I think the only reason I don't like Boo's route as much is mostly just because of the mirror and like how awkwardly they routed possession or progression. But their execution has been so freaking good that it doesn't even matter.
Nice
Boo's
body
also
game.
just like a top runner, and so it's like it's hard to just get Boo into a bad spot.
Also, another bottle in Stone Tower Temple. Thanks, game.
These bottles, man, what a joke. Yeah, now we just kind of gotta hold on tight and see.
By the way, Pojo's angry Yoshi picture still hasn't been taken down yet. It's been going for 2 hours straight.
That one should stay there. Keg Captain's Oath is just mean today. Very icky.
Oh, Fifth Whammy never did mini games. Oh, good grief. Yep, everybody's last locationing their go mode.
Dad now also getting entirely useless information.
Yeah, Pojo will soon follow here. Because the other problem is everybody's full clearing Stone Tower Temple. When this, unfortunately, could have been a go mode.
Yeah. That's Grantilla has this. Yeah.
Yeah, because Dad's boss victory sound has been that.
Just laughing at you like you're not getting anything.
Yeah, Fifth Whammy's going the wrong way, unfortunately. Fifth is going to check Kita first.
Fifth already did Kita,
Or Shiro, rather. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He did Kita. Now, the flip side is Fifth Whammy doesn't have much left that he's missing. Because, at the very least, Fifth Whammy is missing Icona access. Whereas everybody else has Icona access, but is looking for something that is completely unrelated, as we know.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, this is going to be the thing that gives so much time for Fifth. The issue is just when does Fifth write in a check that they've forgotten? Which is like the time-old MMR issue. If you forget a check, when do you do it? And it's like there's no logic to it, you've just forgotten a check. You should pray you get an item that leads you in that direction, but there's really nothing now. Whereas the rest of these runners, yeah, they literally just have to run down this crapshoot list. And yeah, considering there's no finishes yet, or I haven't seen any at least. I think pretty much everybody's gonna be following this problem.
Yeah, everybody must be last locationing their go mode in some way or another at this stage. Pretty sure Fifth wanted to go out of the woods, not back. Oh, grabbing, I take that back. Grabbing a, fish? Okay. Not sure what the fish is for, unless he didn't do lab fish, which would put him towards coast.
I thought Fifth did fish. But I mean, what else would you grab a fish for in this?
Because it can't be well, because you don't have Icona access.
Right. Huh. I mean, even then, yeah, I guess it's just one check that maybe they think they forgot, which could be good. Means
we are seeing the Rosa sisters turn in simultaneously from our left side runners.
This is incredible what we're seeing at this point. This seed just chose violence.
Yes, it did.
It's such a quick seed for anybody who decides to route their
Yeah, like if this were a spoiler log race, this would be super jet.
Yeah. Or if, you know, it was just on Romani's game instead of freaking Captain's Hat aliens, because then Oathhand would have bailed people out.
Pretty much. But yeah, I think this is going to be Fifth Whammy going to Coast, which would hopefully send him to Clifford. But his first priority is going to be, unfortunately, to do Labfish.
Yeah. Yeah, and Boo doing sound check. Yeah. These repeat checks are inevitable because they're just checks to do. It makes sense. Just from our point of view, it just sucks. At the very least, three of our runners have completed 4 dungeons.
And now Boo and Dad are doing sound checks simultaneously.
Yeah, Boo just finishing and Dad just starting.
Okay, yeah, this is Clifford. Fifth whammy is about to hit go mode.
Alright. Good job to Fifth.
So yeah, unlike everybody else, Fifth is going to be able to just go mode ISTT.
Boo collecting money now. Maybe hasn't checked bank.
Could be all night. No, all night's mass purchase would be on night 3.
Makes sense that they haven't checked bank yet. I think not having checked bank by this point's like very okay. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so as soon as Fifth sees this, I believe he's just immediately going to make it night of the final day, as soon as it's convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, and this restream looks like it's gonna be Fifth's raise.
All right, painful realization in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think
Okay, maybe I was a little early, but even still.
Just a tad, but it's okay. I think even if the other runners caught up and immediately went for MTD right now, I think the biggest issue is time of day. I don't even think they could catch up to Fifth at this point.
That's true.
I think there's just so much that they'd have to just sit around for that a go mode ISTT would just disappear in their eyes. But I will say, speaking of, look at that screen.
Oh, yep, he's going back for Mountain Title Deed.
Going to be very unhappy. I would be sword slashing the ever living like hell out of the scrub there in Zora Hall. Did Fifth do sound check? I don't think so.
If you're wondering why Fifth is waiting to advance time, probably waiting until he gets to Stone Tower, since it won't cause the cutscene. Or Iconic Canyon.
Wondering, Hojo doing Stone Tower checks? The beam? They're checking playground. Yeah, just all of these early seer checks that I feel like should never have become the issue. Runners were rightfully missing them, and yeah, now I'm just getting unfortunately punished for it.
We're going to see the Stone Tower bean chests here. Why is there another big gilded chest up here?
I think we actually
And why
saw
does it
that.
have Mask of Truth?
Yeah, I think Boo actually got that. I don't know if they've checked Doggy Race though, but God, I hope they don't.
I don't think so. Pardon me.
Grabbing some money. Ah, jeez, maybe are they going well now too? And debt can finally be done. You're free, sort of.
Double punch.
Yep, there it is. I was expecting that. I'm expecting that from all of the runners that are left without Keg. That's so bad.
You may be excited to know that Pojo has just further changed his picture.
Yup. This is bad.
I'm fairly certain that's supposed to be a table flip.
I thought it was a key, and I don't know why I thought it was a key.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
it does look like a
I'm
table flip.
guessing table flip.
I think table flip makes a lot more sense.
At this point, I would just flip the monitor. But I suppose that happens if you do flip the table too, so...
Or you could do the Xander and punch the console. Yeah, so now there's just not gonna be a lot of waiting on Dad's screen.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Dad now has to go all the way through to Aliens, and until then, he has got to sit there doing nothing.
Yeah, and then after doing Aliens has to go recycle. Not recycle. Wait. Yeah. Go get the Oath. And then...
Yeah, there's just enough time to go get Oath without recycling.
Yeah. But then after getting Oath, literally just has to sit at the clock tower. This is a seed.
This is indeed a seed. What garbage.
Hopefully the next one won't have as stinky of a keg spot. Or an Oath spot, I guess.
And yeah, 5th is accelerated to night of the final day, so the time of day will line up pretty good at this stage. Rock.
Alright, Dad, if you need to go grab a snack, you just want to go on a little walk, feel free.
You have 5 minutes.
Whereas poor Pojo and Boo are doing well in the shrine. Ugh. I mean, like, why wouldn't you? There's checks there. Putting on Sniffa. No.
Yeah, because it is actually more prudent to just wait it out here.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the alien spawning cutscene to actually take place because it does stop the clock.
Ugh. Now Dad's just sitting here sniffing away. Majora's Mask Randomizer, everybody. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, unfortunately he couldn't sniff out that keg earlier.
And we did somehow still get a wart today. AC was just mean enough. We're gonna see. What are we seeing here from Boo? Poe Hut? They're getting their butt to Poe. Never mind. Oh, need money. Right.
Yeah, Song of Healing helps a little bit, but not that much.
No.
Why is that there?
No! The way Pojo just looked back and forth at it. Totally just like...
I mean, keep this up and Pojo's gonna flip his whole house.
Yeah. No.
Let alone the table's already gone at this point. The table's already in the neighbor's backyard.
Yeah.
At the very least, everybody's gonna have FD Majora.
That's true.
You know, we didn't get FD before Remains, but at least we got FD before Majora.
Wait, did 5th pick it up? 5th?
Yes, I think so.
Right, because 5th needed keys.
Because, yeah, you do need... yeah, and I think that's a key. Is that a key? No, that's a big chest, so that can't be a key. Yeah, this has been a fun seed. It's unfortunately our runners just kind of... They both just... Everybody, not... They both, literally everybody, just missed the important check that could have sped the seed way up. Like, in 5th Whammy's case, he missed out on Moon's Tier on Clifford to Garo Gibdo on the Moon's Tier turn-in. Everybody else missed Powder Keg, which was on the Mountain Title D trade-in from Observatory Moon's Tier item. Which is funny because the Moon's Tier trade-in was Gibdo Mask, and the Moon's Tier pickup was Mountain Title D to Keg. So Moon's Tier was a little bit of a pain this seed, no matter how you look at it.
Tier was out for blood today. But yeah,
Moon's Tier...
5th really could have finished a lot earlier with the way that they routed, and it was mostly just skipping 3 different checks that they really had no reason to skip. Like, skipping Hookshot, it was like, you're in Road to Sudden Swamp with a bow. You just do it. And then Fire Arrows, it's like, you have Storms and a Bean, you just do it. And also, reasonably should have had a hook. And
now,
then GBC Ledge, it's like, you peek that every time.
Now, Pojo is inverted and just about to hit 1 o'clock, so Pojo does have enough time here to go get the keg and then turn around and do aliens. Just barely.
Thank God for Pojo's sake.
Well, it's actually far more generous than you might think, because I think the aliens win at like 3:15 or 3:30, something along that line, if you do nothing.
Don't we have to do Romani's game first, though?
You do not.
Oh.
Romani's game is only for the song. I think. Ooh. Yeah, Whammy's playing it safe and inverting here, having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
With this ISTT.
Never a bad idea to play it a little safer. It looks like Pojo picking up the litter mama. Makes sense. Still sad. But yeah, you definitely go turn in that Mountain Title Deed first, because if that's Keg, then you can just do that. Versus if it's the letter to Mama, you know you have to recycle.
Oh, Whammy deciding to throw the bombs at the Igor. That's a new strategy.
That was pretty cool. I wasn't like peeled on it, but I did notice it.
But yeah, this should be just a straight run, because yeah, this is the room before Twin Mold. So yeah, Whammy's all good to go here.
Yeah, Pojo. Getting it done.
Oh boy, this is not going to be fun.
Boo is getting baited into Shrine. Oh, I just feel so bad. Like, oy.
All right. Entire house flip will occur in 3. A little later than that.
2.
All right. House flip will occur in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, the Yoshi's about to just go full anger.
Not a blue Yoshi anymore.
And Dat is back to kill the rest of the aliens.
But yeah, luckily there is just enough time to do this.
Inverting for safety makes sense. All right, so now
Actually,
I'm curious
well, no,
if oh, go ahead, sorry.
Pojo's actually uninverting, because Pojo was inverted to make sure that there was enough time to get Keg before aliens, and now he needs to speed things up. So.
Yeah, and only 2 in-game hours behind Dat, so could be interesting to watch these two.
And the dumbest thing is the story's not even done after aliens.
Right, they literally just have to sit and wait at the clock tower.
Not even that, they still have to go get Oath.
Oh yeah, it's in the damn graveyard.
So,
Wait, what is happening today?
So what they're going to have to do is they're going to go into the day 1 grave, and then they're going to immediately skip to night 3. That way at least the timer's starting. Twin Mold is not being nice to 5th Whammy here.
Twin Mold RNG giving Dat and Pojo any amount of a chance to finish over 5th. This is one of those seeds where I would have wanted something more casual to come out of this, but no, it's just like garbage casino stuff.
Yeah, and the garbage...
It's like, why would you ever check that?
Yeah, and the garbage casino... And the funny thing is the garbage casino isn't even related to the new stuff or the settings.
Yeah, no, it's not. It just was its own, like, stinker. Yeah, because it would have been much more interesting, because this is the whole, the weekly's here to, like, test different things out, and it's like, no, the weekly in the settings didn't do anything. It didn't do anything wrong.
The settings aren't the problem. The lousy item placement is the problem.
Yeah. The item placement actually just one-upped the Oath hint. It said, I can do you one better. How about, you're going to be useless now. Yeah.
All right, so 5th Whammy's going to get magic and equipment, and hopefully a safety fairy before... Okay, at least getting a health refill off the fairy. Otherwise, he should be okay with FD and extended, and not extended magic, but with FD. Yeah, he should be okay.
5th will be finishing here.
Yeah, because as Neuro points out in chat, we didn't get any stray fairies, we didn't get any long quests, we didn't get any key issues.
Yep. I think the most you could argue is that Epona's start definitely made it harder to route in the mountain title deed early.
That is true.
The reason why 5th actually did get it early is because 5th kind of took the west as like an option. Which, in a lot of other cases, would have put 5th behind by a good bit. Because 5th was kind of taking a lot longer to get to progression because of that missing hookshot and fire arrow. Mostly the fire.
Oh boy, I can't wait for this interview.
Yeah, I think these runners, Pojo, Boo, Dat, I think they have every reason to be mad right now if they are.
Yeah, I mean, Boo's checking lemons. Wait, when do we get Bremen Mask?
Yeah, I think it's literally just that everybody's getting tripped up the exact same way. I don't think what 5th did was bad by going west when 5th did. I just think it was like a kind of extension play that I think worked out really well for him. Absolutely could have had a faster finish time though. Regardless.
All right, so Fifth Whammy having no trouble with Majora's Mask, looks like.
Fifth has played really well. Missing items was one thing, but Fifth has definitely made like a good case in his range.
That was a good slash, Fifth.
That
Good
wasting
catch.
time by fooling around with the Iron Knuckle.
I mean, why not? You
Yeah,
still
good
gotta
point
wait
out.
until midnight.
Could have easily sub 230. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're totally right about that. Could have easily just gotten that time that makes everybody freak out. But what time they did get is about to be seen in a few seconds in GG's Fifth.
Meanwhile, Dad's saying,
48:33. Looks like that is the same as the race time. GG.
indeed, GG. Meanwhile, Dad's like, hello, yoo-hoo, follow the side-sliding Hylian.
Alright.
So yeah, it looks like Dat and Pojo are both on the path to completion here. So yeah, Pojo's made it tonight, night of final. Dat's just going to be sitting in front of the clock tower for 3 minutes. And we're joined by Fifth Whammy in the booth. GG, congratulations on taking this weekly.
I
That's
did
not
warn
Fifth
you.
quite yet.
It's not Fifth, it's me.
Oh.
Fifth will be joining in a second, though.
Oh, sorry, Shan. Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
have
my name-
Discord up.
It's fair.
Fine.
It would have tripped me up if I didn't see the message exactly when that was happening.
Yeah. Oh well.
All good.
Fifth
I
will
just
be
had-
joining in a second, though.
I just had to practice
you,
my
Jen.
script. In that case, I
Yeah.
just had to practice. Don't mind
You're
me.
welcome. Okay. Well, anyway, Fifth will be joining now, so bye!
Bye. It's like right before a big presentation.
All right. Well,
There you
we're
go,
joined.
Henry.
We are joined in the booth by Fifth Whammy. GG to you. Congratulations on taking this weekly.
Thank you. That was not the result I expected. But
So,
Nope.
well, funny story. Your go mode was Garo Gibdo. Literally everybody had a problem with this seed. Yours was Garo Gibdo because of Clifford, and we'll talk about that later. Everyone else's was the powder keg.
oh,
Yeah, nobody
So-
did Mountain Tide Lead first cycle, so that check got orphaned really bad because the progression tunnel like kept evolving to the point where everybody like full cleared ISTT, cleared STT. I think they all did well. 2 runners did Shrine. Everybody checked like all of the items from PF, all of the bait items.
Everybody else
Yeah.
also like full cleared STT as well.
oh wow,
Because
Yeah, I just realized maybe I was lucky to last location my Gibdo.
Yeah, the way
Yeah.
that I see it, what happened is that what you ended up doing to get Keg earlier and put you in that better spot was that you went west a lot earlier than everybody else did, because everybody else was funneled into like the hints and then the progression that kind of came from that, which kind of led it to being like Mountain Title Lead's now a bad check. Like I think even a couple of the runners were like going to Hall and like doing everything but the Mountain Title Lead check. Whereas you had gone there and wasn't able to do stage lights. So yeah, I think that's just what ended up kind of like saving you there.
Yeah, the moment I picked up the Mountain Title Deed early, I was reluctant to let it go. Very reluctant to let it go. I was very, very close to Moon Crash, it turned out, but
Oh, wow.
it turned out to be the right play.
Yeah, no, that absolutely like came in clutch.
Yeah. For perspective, Pojo and Dad are both just waiting for midnight at this point after having to sit and wait through aliens as well. And Boo is about to grab Mountain Title Deed too, and it looks like their timing will work out.
Wow, I also noticed that both copies of the Aliens Hint were in Ranch, alongside the Butler Hint, so if anybody was optimistic about putting off Ranch.
Yeah, I think
Tough scene
Boo
to
was
do
the
that.
only person to put Ranch off far enough that it mattered. I think
Yeah.
everybody else on Restream had Ranch hint early enough.
Pojo was the first. Pojo actually kind of rushed it practically. Pojo was done with first cycle very early by comparison, because I think, because Pojo rushed Magic from the Letter to Cafe turn-in, as well as Day 3 Ranch, and just got it out of the way, but unfortunately had the same kerfuffle with Keg that everybody else did.
Yeah, I considered just rushing first cycle once I saw the magic on LTK, but I decided to wait a little. Second magic could always turn up somewhere, and yeah, after Zora showed up on Postman as well, I just figured I'd play cycle 1 out normally. Wait a bit. I felt like I had enough to do before I really needed to grab that Zora, and I was a little loopy. Getting used to all the things in these settings. I had the window open on the side, just checking it every few minutes to be sure I didn't miss something. And I missed a couple things. I didn't pick up lottery until cycle 2, for instance, but that ended up being okay.
Makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, whatever I did, it worked out.
Yeah, I think the big thing from watching you, it was missing the hook and the fires and the Gibdo at the times that you did. Probably lost you like a couple minutes each, where you had to like soar back, run back for those items. But it wasn't nearly as much time loss as like the missing Keg was for everybody else, because it was like, yeah, you grabbed fires on the way to ice. Hook wasn't that hard to re-grab, and then GBC Ledge was only like an extra minute by itself, and then just the only thing that sucked about it was, last location in Gibdo, so you did a bunch of other checks.
Well, luckily for Dad, the way Incarnation just ran around allowed all the sword beams to collide with all the remains, so this Wrath fight should be free.
Yeah, what did you think of the settings, though? I mean, it didn't really do too much today. I think the only thing that I was trying to mention was, like, I think the Epona location helped you go west early, but it helped everybody else not go west at any point.
Yeah, I think it was the mountain title dude that really pushed me west.
Right.
I've been spoiled for so long with West Items for Time, with Mystery, and then with Scrubs, that maybe I was overcompensating a bit, trying to hold on to that beat and turn it in, and turns out to be the right call.
Dat just finished with an official race time GG time of 2:55.36, but Namefaker89 got just ahead of Dat by about 33 seconds with a 2:55.03. Namefaker was one of our off-screen runners today.
GG's to both. I think anybody surviving this seed should be proud of themselves.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very non-finishable seed for some people.
Yeah, it's not even just that the settings were bad, because the settings, like we mentioned earlier, weren't really the big factor. It was just the brutal chain for Oath, and on top of that, Clifford, there was no hint pointing you towards the west. Like, if anything, it looked more like west was just going to be barren, given we had 2 Foolishes.
Yeah, it really did basically just say, like, if you don't push west early, you kind of just get screwed. And, like, in my opinion, I don't see, like, too many reasons. I think Fifth, you literally gave the only reason that I think made any sense to push west at any point earlier than, like, clearing a bunch of north or south. Because it's like, there's so much progression, you could have just gotten everything else along the way to the point where you may never even, like, have needed to check hall. But then this happened. Yeah. It's a little dangerous to leave an item like Mountain Title Deed there when it was. But it was also one check when there was an entirety of other dungeon checks. So I think it made perfect sense for all the other runners. And GG to Pojo. Yeah.
Well, hasn't caught up on the restream yet, but don't worry, we'll catch up in a second. But yeah, that'll do it. Pojo finishes Pojo finishes with a 257.32, good for 4th place overall. And Dat, welcome aboard.
GG's.
So how do you feel about that seed? Ugh.
I'm actually really salty about that seed. For
Yeah.
actual reasons on my own fault part.
Oh,
Like,
really?
hear me out. No, seriously, like, hear me out. This seed was actually a potential god jet seed. I kid you not. This could have been a sub 2 hour seed, and I threw all of that away. I basically threw an entire hour because I got really greedy because of all the early transformation as hookshot and everything. Just get 3 songs in a row, get 3 dungeons down in a row. So I kept cutting corners. I skipped the Pirate Fortress Sewers, Pirate Fortress Forever, which was the hard for Moon's Tier into Give the Mask. And even though I could have done Mount Tidy in the Cycle 1, I didn't, and I just put it off forever. For the keg.
So everybody on stream except Fifth Whammy skipped did, or not skipped per se, but didn't was keg was their go mode. So because Fifth's go mode was Moon's Tier to Gibdo, he did not have to do any bit of Stone Tower or pretty much any bit of Icona before go mode.
I think you're very valid for feeling how you do and feeling salty about it. I will say personally, from watching your perspective on the race, I think you actually routed really well. And I think that like 9 times out of 10, the seed would have played in yours or Pojo's favor, and you guys would have had like a much faster route than the other runners. But I think it's also fair to be salty in the way that you are.
Yeah, I think I honestly, like, this is one of the seeds that it wasn't trashy, it wasn't stupid. It was basically overthrowing, honestly. Also, welcome to Pojo, GG's.
GG's Pojo. I personally think that Mountain Title Deed spot's a little trashy, only because of how late the seed actually expects you to go west with the opponent's location. And it's kind of just like, you can do so much progression south and north that I think it's a little sucky, but I think it absolutely opens the window for, like the exact play that Fifth made, which is, I'm going to grab the Mountain Title Deed and prioritize west. And that absolutely kind of wins a ton of time back.
Yeah. I think what also didn't help the seed that this was the time Oath was behind the 2 Scions, and of course it had to be the one that effectively made the hint useless after you beat all 4
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the problem. It
Mhm.
can only hint 1-to-1. It can't hint like a chain. It can't do that. So I feel like I need to confirm it myself. Nope, it's a ranch. Waste of
Boo.
time.
Time out, Boo. There is still an alien out there.
Oh no. Oh no, Boo.
Oh, okay. I'm fairly certain that was almost pixel perfect. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah, the oath hint being like completely negated, I think was the big like, or a big part of the issue.
Yeah.
Because if that had not been an issue, everyone would have known exactly where to go get that keg, but it doesn't hint where the keg is, it hints where the captain's hat is, because, yeah. It just sucks.
Because how it works. This is like an extreme rare case that the oath is useless, even though it was fully accessible to get the hint, because of course it had to be song to song. It could not have been just like a simple quest line, because at least like if it was anywhere else, at least like you could have at least just tracked down the quest mask you needed, which by the way, I found almost every transformation, mask in the game except like Ruin Mask, which didn't help.
Yeah, I think all the runners on Restream found like, I think most, if not all, of the bait today. I think the only thing that I can think of that you missed was Cafe's Mask, which was on the final chest in Strong.
Yeah, that was the problem too. Like, generally how I saw the end of the seed was, if Keg's anywhere not in the corner, I basically automatically lost, and that was the case this seed. Like, when I saw the chain to get the Gitto, and I pulled off parcels for like 20 minutes, I just knew that I felt like I just threw my entire huge lead away at that point, and from my perspective, and I feel like, if there's any way I'm gonna come back in this race, I have to hope Keg's in the corner, and I find it first. But that was not the case today, unfortunately.
The way that I see it is, it's like, it's totally fair to feel that, but at the same time, I could not see most runners doing anything other than getting funneled into Icona, just because of where it ended up being.
That is true, yeah. But overall, aside from that, Sea Sultan's I think I executed this extremely well, barring maybe the other game. I was having some hiccups every now and then. At least I got to show off most of the fairies that are shuffled in dungeons. That's why I prioritize dungeons more, because the increased density. Also, it's kind of nice I didn't have to do keyless Snow Temple, because there was a competing keys in there.
On the note of the stray fairies, can we point out that who knows what the first logical bottle was supposed to be at this stage?
About that, I forgot the actual angle, how you get inside that pillar. I think I did do it in the correct way, but I jumped slash just way too early. I tried to do it early.
It was on the wrong side when you were doing it.
Yeah, I haven't done that check in a while, so... which made it even funny when I found my first bottle on Bank 2.
I thought my mic was on. It wasn't. So.
There you are.
Oh,
sorry.
Good to hear you.
Sorry about that, Pojo.
GG's.
Yeah, so how did you feel about the seed now that we can get your opinion?
Keg.
Keg. Yeah, that, I mean, to be fair, that was basically everybody's problem.
Yeah. I am curious. I'm sure I'll watch back the VOD here later. Before the hunt for Keg began for basically, I'm assuming, everybody, who was leading, clearing out the third dungeon, I guess.
Well, it's interesting because you were the first to the ranch hints, which pointed at Captain's Hat and ice arrows, which that got us really interested. And from that point on, pretty much everybody was clearing their through Snowhead first at about the same time, because I think everybody basically kind of routed the dungeons in the same way. They did Snowhead first, then Woodfall, then Great Bay.
Yeah.
I think
that
first
was the weird thing
into the dungeon progression was Dat by a minute at most, and I think you were right behind them. And I think Boo was maybe 5 seconds behind you. And then Boo just didn't do GBT at the same time that you guys did. So I think pretty much dungeon progression wise, it went Dat Pojo. And then I think mostly it was just because Boo did Swamp Spider House way earlier. Which I didn't think made a lot of sense to do at that time.
I saw the mirror shield and everything. I thought there was absolutely no point picking up that mirror until you had a Con Atlas. That's why I just kept ignoring it, and plus it didn't help with the bottles of the seed, obviously, because you need at least one bottle.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't think it made much sense to get mirror until you were getting closer to the idea of what was happening with the songs in the keg. Because at any point, the keg song could have been Elegy.
Yeah, because that was what I was trying to think about. I didn't trust the mirror at first, because I found the stuff in the swamp area. I also skipped the Day 2 woods for a while.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody did
the bottle on Bank.
I don't think anybody did woods until at least past a dungeon or two.
Fifth. If I remember correctly, Fifth was one of the first people, if not the first person to go there. And it still was way later. Or maybe Pojo was, I don't know. It was insane.
I didn't do it cycle one.
Also, another funny thing about this seed, I actually had to check my inventory 2 or 3 times. I thought, do I actually have a lullaby, or this is some reason not a random song start? I had to double confirm that going up to Snowhead.
Yeah, we were a little curious at first too, but we got confirmation when somebody checked Crybaby Goron and played the full lullaby.
It took me a while to remember to check myself too.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's another thing too to note about Elder Goron Baby Goron, because this was noted if you have around this reset or Moonfall, which was the previous weekly reset test settings. You need to speak to Baby Goron first, otherwise you can't get the song from Elder Goron, and I'm pretty sure you can lock yourself out of it if you play the song from the baby first.
Yes,
interesting.
If you play the full lullaby. If you play just the intro, if you only have the intro, he won't go to sleep. But if you play the full song, you're screwed for that cycle.
Yeah, it has to. If it's only full lullaby, that will lock you out.
It's a finicky check. I'm pretty sure I had Fires on second side, but completely forgot to go back and get my Elder Goron song, so I had to go play it again. If I remember.
I think you got it on. I think you got that. You showed us the Day 3 Elder Goron and why the Mountain Village Foolish, except for the song hint, is actually a thing under these conditions.
thing. Yeah, because his position changes depending on the day. Day 1 and 2, he's in Twin Islands. Only on day 3, he's actually in Mountain Village.
So, interesting, a discussion has been surfaced. So, you treat Goron Elder like you would the mailboxes. Because they've got the same conditions to access them. The regions can be foolish except sung, but they can't be worth for the song.
Interesting.
So, yes.
So-
Yeah, that is actually true, yes. Because Elder can be in 2 locations. In
And they
terms of
don't
loading
have-
zone.
Logical implications. It won't act like Blue Boss Warp because every Blue Boss Warp has different logical implications. But both Goron Elders have the same logical implications, so they're just like a mailbox. So,
I like the comparison to Postman.
yeah. That's the way that Eris described it. So,
Boo's literally just hessing around the graveyard, waiting
That's
for
what happened
the
to me, and
for
I'm seeing
midnight.
Pojo as well.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
15 minutes just doing nothing and probably messing around.
to be fair,
And-
that happened in my
Get up,
scrub
go have a
seed.
snack.
That exact thing happened in my scrub seed the other day. We had required letter to Mama on aliens, and both of us had to wait for aliens.
So great.
It was horrible. Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking
and-
of... Oh, go ahead, Captain.
I would just say also, Pojo, the deterioration of your avatar picture on,
Yes, that's
on
what I
your
was about
screen
to
was
say.
entirely justified.
I was literally about to make a comment on that. It's so funny. Yeah, it was great.
We had gotten a kick out of that because it started deteriorating as soon as you got to Ranch, and we figured, okay, it's been like an hour and a half. The seat hasn't really lined up. That's not getting reverted anytime soon. And then the keg comes up, and we basically assumed you flipped your entire house.
Yeah, Pojo didn't come to the interview straight away because he said he wanted to scream first. So, yeah.
He already screamed enough last week.
Yes, I did.
He screams every time I roll a seed. Like,
Do I even want to know? I'll do better. I'll just go watch. Which, by the way, I think Boo is our last one racing. So, Shen,
Yes.
when they are finished, we would love to see where Garo actually was to see if there was any hope of a
I know-
backup.
Actually,
No,
we know where it was.
we know
I
where
found
was.
it.
Yeah, I found
I
it
found
too.
it. I shot a liar at it out of rage. A Kana Castle pillar piece.
oh,
Yep.
that's what
Oh,
happened.
Yep.
you were not okay. You were not getting that today.
You had to go to Pirate's Fortress, no matter what.
Moon's
Yep.
Tear was required whether you like it or not. And it's
Yeah.
funny because this seed was all about the frustration of Moon's Tear, because either it was Moon's Tear location for Mountain Title Deed to Keg, or it was the Moon's Tear turn-in for Garo Gibdo, or for Gibdo rather. So either way, Moon's Tear was going to be a pain in your backside whether you liked it or not.
3 pieces of paper required in this seed, at least. It was 4 because of magic on LTK.
Letter to Cafe was required. Letter to Mama
Yeah, it
was
was.
required.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 3.
Double Magic was in Stone Tower Temple in Burden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
mean,
normal or inverted? I'm trying
was
to
In
remember.
inverted.
first side, the first light
Inverted.
arrow chest.
Okay, gotcha.
To be fair, Moon's Tear is basically is a paper. It's an honorary deed.
It's very pretty paper, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
this
like water, so it would help Toilet Hand, probably. A little bit.
Good point.
fair.
Yeah.
The cynical part of us was hoping that it was like maybe the wallet was the swamp wath for like Don Garo's mask in the milk bar. Because why
Yeah,
not? Both way
that's
the
the
hero
thing.
locations.
Okay, that was funny because I actually forgot my last always rotating hint for a while, which was beavers, and I got scared of frogs for some reason stupidly unhinted or just behind the worst stones. That's why I picked it up when I got to milk bar last minute on night 2.
So did we.
Perfect sense.
Yeah. And also, thanks for the beavers hint in a foolish Zora cape. Thanks,
Yeah,
gang.
thanks, gang.
All right, but that being said, Boo has finished with a time of 3:12:02, and that will conclude this weekly.
GG.
That was something.
That was something.
It was,
Yeah.
but we're not done yet, though. Just to know, we do have another weekly coming up tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So
We
looking
might
forward to that.
actually be able to get both of them on.
I might be around for that.
You've got 2 commentators already, but if
Oh, lovely.
I mean, I'm sure they'd be happy to have a third.
Yeah.
It's Shell and G, so
I would love to race that one, but I'll have to skip out. It is midnight for me, and I'd rather sleep.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I'll take the Saturday one today. That's fine.
I'll probably have to async.
Yeah, Pojo, you just... It's impossible to get you to race. And then when you
schedule
do
it
race...
you schedule for 7 p.m. I'm
No.
a little bit preoccupied basically every day at 7 p.m.
But every time you do race, you try and schedule it for 3 months in advance.
Yes.
Someone actually did that in another community recently. They scheduled it like 3 months in advance or something. I thought it was Wind Waker or OTR or something. And I was like, was that Pojo by chance? And I got like
Yeah,
3
but-
laughs out of it.
The doctor's office now. We have all of our races
Boo.
scheduled out in advance.
Boo is not joining us in the interview booth, but they are in the chat. So, if you have questions, comms, now's the time to ask.
I think the only big question I have for Boo is why did you grab the mirror shield when you did? Other than that, very well played. This seed just was not very kind to anybody who was following like a very reasonable density path, and yeah, I think that you guys all played really well.
I love how Boo just came into the chat and went lol. Like, not even like hi.
Yeah,
just
I would
lol.
too.
I mean, what more can you
Egg.
say? I mean, let's
Wall
be real
peg.
here.
Like, W.
Help. You could say help after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or if you're Pojo, just yell my name.
Dan.
Yep. The last week's weekly, I got messages from Pojo for like a couple days, just going Shan, just
Dan.
anger. Yeah, lasting effect, you know.
That's fantastic.
Other than that, I don't have a particularly much to ask beyond this point. I think the seed pretty much explained itself. The show speaks for itself pretty much.
I think, yeah, apart from the fact that it felt like the keg was like super out of the way and just kind of led to a lot of annoying crap for probably almost every runner. It was a pretty interesting seed, and I'd love to see how like the keys and other settings for Chaotical like play out in the future.
Yeah, I'm interested what the finalized Season 6 preset is going to look like. Personally, I do want to see a couple settings from Chaotical Majora here, but for Moonfall, I do want to see the moon itself come into play. I really want to see the moon.
I think my favorite part about Moonfall is the fact that we could literally be calling Season 6 Moonfall.
There's
I don't
literally
know
a
if it's
movie
not
called
that
that.
And but if we call Season 6 Moonfall, then what do we call Season 7? Moonrise?
Well, that
Half
depends
moon.
on
Water
what
rise?
settings come about. I don't know. Maybe we
but-
could do something
yeah.
where it has to involve... I don't know,
Boop.
I can't come up with anything.
Boo does point out in chat that that she felt safe assuming Mira was the Woth for Swamp, which is a fairly safe bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the cynical part of us was hoping that it was like Wallet for Don Garo, but not the case.
Yeah. I don't exactly remember if Boo was at this point. I think Fox and I were talking about it briefly, but it was just like, I think at that point Keg still could have had Elegy, and because we hadn't checked, Restream had checked Woods yet, or anything like Wallet locked except for the A&M peak. I think it was still just like, well, Keg could be Elegy if this and that. Did it mean that Mira was anything but likely to be Walled at that point? No, that was still like seemingly the choice, but yeah, I was just curious because it felt safer not to go for Mirror, but makes sense to me what you did, Boo. I was just really curious because it hadn't crossed my mind. I was sitting there thinking it was like safer not to.
That's the thing, with Swamp Spider House not being hinted, it's kind of like, oh wait, I actually have to think about it now. as a potential waff.
Yeah. Which I
Whereas,
thought was cool.
yeah, because obviously if the texture's on, it can't be waff. If it's hinted on always hints, it can't be waff. So it's actually putting Swamp Spider House in your brain and remembering that you actually might have to do it.
I think the other thing on top of that, Captain had mentioned that earlier, is that a lot of our brains, at least mine, was still geared into mystery, where I was like, oh, this is just force junk. Like, I wasn't thinking that, but it definitely impacted me a little bit. Just put it in the back of my mind.
If anybody doesn't have any other questions, pointers, or whatever, and wants to leave the call to go scream, now's the time. No screaming. I'm
doing it in my mind, just for you, Shan.
thanks,
You mean
Pojo.
internal and external?
Yep. Boo said, yeah, I had already committed to not going potion part of swamp for a long time, so it'd be better to have mirror for routing purposes, since the new 90% of items were already. Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't have lights at that point, too. That actually makes more sense. I think maybe everybody else had either seen lights or maybe had lights or something.
Yeah, I think Boo was the last to get lights.
Yeah,
I think.
by a decent bit. I did forget about that.
To be fair, you could absolutely... Yeah, to be fair, you could absolutely delay lights as long as you needed to this seed. They were not going to do you any good, except for money.
Yeah, and also having mirror when Boo did give like an extra 30 seconds going up Stone Tower over Dan Pojo, if I remember correctly. It's like a very, very, very small thing, and I didn't even notice it.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Boo going for mirror made it so that they didn't have to do the extra soar for the Swamp Spider House and like run back out there that the other three of you did, so it technically saved a little bit of time when Boo went up Icona, because then Boo was able to just shoot all the way up to Stone Tower Temple.
Yeah, I
It like didn't matter at all, but it was like a 30-second thing, I noticed.
I thought about doing it right after finishing up Butler at Rice.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't even have a way up to Icona right now.
Right.
And at that point, I got basically all of West and East to search for that keg, and so I'm like, I may need time kill later. So,
yeah.
See, if it was me, I would have definitely have done Swamp Spider House straight after Butler, and the main reason for that is because then it would give me time to think. Because Swamp Spider House is like a good thinking place.
Yeah, and also mostly a test, because I routed mine pretty well, aside that B knocking me off, and I missed once going on, but it wasn't too bad, really. You were more than well equipped this time. Aside from me trying to jump over the golden pillar with Sora, because doing that with Sora sucks, because I was holding neutral on the trophy fire away, and I just went right off for no reason.
Things
happen.
happen.
Said, it does lead to, I think you guys all made a lot of really like interesting and I think good routing decisions, just like around everything. It was very entertaining.
It was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you like converged at certain points as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Boo and Dat both doing Camaro at the same time, like within seconds of each other. Just moments like that.
Camaro was another mistake for me. I could have done that like an hour ago, and I didn't.
Yeah. It's
I
always
feel
the
like
worst.
I think routing wise, it was weak for me to see routing wise. I think it was not that great.
I'm not sure what to think of my routing. This is the first time I've ever played Chaotical, and it kind of shows.
I mean, you did well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the mountain title lead turn in was like very heads up and like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
if you just did Mountain Deep early, you had like basically a half an hour to spare to go against everyone else. Like even with people like top runners here, like me, Pojo, and other people like Bo, that was more than enough time for you to clear out the rest of your dungeons, even with mistakes.
I think it also wasn't just the thing of like, oh, if I do that one check, then I win. It was also like, I think your reasoning behind it like made a lot of sense, and I think that anybody who was too aggressive like kind of deserved. I don't think any of the runners on Restream, I would argue, played too aggressive. I think you guys all played like well in that sense where you were like making good calls. I just think that your decision to be thorough in that way was really solid.
I think with test settings, it is a good choice to play it safe. Because these settings are new to everybody. And I think sometimes the best way to play is to play it safe, and that's what you guys all did today.
Yeah, I was definitely leaning that way. I think my reasoning in hindsight for the early hall play was that I have to go there and hit the owl at some point anyway, no matter what. So I might as well do it while I have the D, just in case. And lo and behold, this is the rare seed where that actually pays off.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. That's how you learn that that's important. Those rare seeds. That's changes a lot of MMR routing for people.
Especially with a lot of settings that have been around recently, such as mystery, scrubs. A lot of people are used to not losing their deeds on reset. So actually having to have that mental note that I will lose this deed when I cycle, and I will have to go back and get it. Even if it's a simple check, like Moon's Tier, where you have to go pick up the mountain title deed again. Still time consuming. Especially when you get it so early in the game. You don't know when you're going to be able to easily go back and get it again, like using Deku. Like, you don't know where Deku is. It could be like the very last thing you get. And you have to think of all the time that you're going to have to spend going all the way back through again. That Deku could have been behind the mountain title deed. Right? So the amount of time that you would have had to spend to go back through and get that mountain title deed again is quite consuming. But, yeah. It's something that people are going to have to start remembering again, and getting out of the habit of going, I actually need to remember where that deed was. So
I think Boo echoes like the exact point that I had felt this whole seed, where it's like, if this seed hadn't literally funneled itself into like there are just better options kind of situation with that deed, I think maybe everybody else on Restream who didn't get it early or didn't get the keg early would have done it. Yeah. But the items just fall in your lap. Of course, you're going to follow that.
Yeah.
Like the carrot's dangling in front of you.
Rando be rando, as
Rando
they
do
say.
Random.
Yep. That is how it do be.
Think of one of the most brain-bending early games I've had in a while. In Standard, what with everything being, Ice Arrow on Butler, Captains on Ranch, Zora on Postman's Freedom, Magic on LTK.
Yeah, that was a really, really weird. You never usually get that many, and all at once.
Yeah, I know. I didn't really try to change my Cycle 1 plan all that much to fit around them. I couldn't really figure out how best to fit around it, so I just defaulted to the usual.
And usually when you get all of that information up front, like, usually when you get an always hint that hints something required, usually it makes the seed pretty much straightforward. But this seed, no. Of course not, because they removed the keg hint. See, if that keg hint was in, we wouldn't have had this issue. Yeah. Or if we kept deeds on reset, we wouldn't have had this issue, but yeah.
It's definitely something worth bringing up. I also do remember, I think it was like an hour and a half ago, Neuro was saying, what were they saying? I think they were saying something like long quests on NPC text, something like that.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
This always pool is too big. Nerf it. Put the NPC hints in.
I mean, again, so this is a really big pointer, especially for anyone who is watching, especially anybody who has been racing. Make sure you guys give constructive feedback to Revan in S6 discussions. Try not to diverge, but really discuss the settings that you've played. Discuss your suggestions, what you think should be in the final settings. Because Revan's going to use that information to build the final settings. And a lot of the conversations recently have been about what we could do with MMR as a whole, but not about Season 6. So make sure you guys go into Season 6 discussions and say your honest opinions about what did work, what didn't work, what settings should be on, what settings should be off. Discuss all of that in depth with him. It'll help him build a better picture for what people want to see in Season 6. And it's what we were discussing just before this weekly started. So make sure you get your opinions in, because they will matter. Every single opinion, small or big, will matter to Revan when building these settings for you guys.
So shout outs to Revan for putting in all the effort to try to really
Yeah.
like get everybody's opinion and make this all work out, because I've seen how hard
Yeah.
he's been working.
Absolutely. And I think now's the time to tell him exactly what you think. Now that Chaotical has had at least one weekly, and people have had weeks to test, now's your chance to make a difference for Season 6.
Yeah.
So
I think it's been
make sure you
great
give
for them
feedback.
having, folks showing up and testing these settings out. I'm glad, to see the turnout that we've had
Absolutely.
in that sense. Yeah, hopefully we can, work out something nice together. I think one of the big questions surrounding Standard is how much do we hint? And yeah,
What do
it's a
we
tricky
hint?
question.
What don't we hint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
a tricky
something that
question.
you guys should really start thinking about now, feeding back to Revan, because that's what he's looking for. Because the only way he's going to be able to build the settings that you guys want is by you telling him what you want and what you don't want. So make sure you guys voice that to him, and as soon as possible. I don't know when the settings will be finalized, but you should definitely do it soon, because the weeklies are almost over now. The test period's probably getting close to being finished, I'm not sure. But now's the time to give your opinions. So make sure you reach out. Finger guns.
Your opinions matter.
Yes, your
Thank you,
opinions
everybody.
matter. They do, yes, but does anybody have any last comments?
I have
Not
nothing
me.
more to say.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nothing here.
Thanks everybody for putting this together.
You're very welcome. We'll hopefully have tomorrow's weekly on as well. Ooh, exciting. And then, after these weeklies then, there will be no MMR restreams until Season 6 begins, and it'll be the qualifiers. Which is exciting. But if you are interested in some Majora's Mask racing, make sure you guys go check out Scrub Central, as the MMR tournament is still going on. And I'm not trying to, push, to hoot my own horn or anything, but I am racing against SGG Sean tomorrow in the losers bracket finals.
Let's go.
So-
Well done, Shan.
Good luck to you
Thank
both.
you. I'm dying. I was honestly, I had a fan on me during my race against Ink, because I was genuinely sweating because I was so scared the whole
Makes so much
time.
sense. Yeah.
But yeah, make sure you guys check out Scrub Central. There are loads of races going on. Whether they're being restreamed or not quite sure. But all these races are currently going on, so make sure you guys just keep an eye on Twitch for Majora's Mask races. They are going on in the background at least. But if there's no comments from anybody else, what we're going to do is we're going to raid into ZSR 3. They are doing OTR. I want to say is it OTR?
Random Settings League.
Yeah, it's RSL Season 7 Round 3. Cola versus Macars. So yeah. Cool. I don't know what to say now. Thank you guys for joining. This was the Majora's Mask Randomizer Season 6 Chaotical Majora test settings weekly. There will be another one tomorrow, which should be restreamed at 7 p.m. Eastern. I am Richard Onbird. I was your restreamer, Seed Roller, and absolutely terrible tracker today. I just want to point that out. But to be fair, I was in a meeting elsewhere that was quite important, so I was sort of here. Our two lovely commentators, we had Captain MD13 and oh my god, there's so many of you that are actually commentators in here. I'm like, who actually commentated today?
It wasn't
G.
me.
Really? It was you.
Might have
Captain
been. I don't know.
13 and G. Don't you start. Alright. And to my lovely co-tracker who basically kept me afloat this whole time, Nero, thank you. You saved my ass so many times. I will see you guys soon. I will not be doing the restream tomorrow because I like sleeping. But I will see you guys for season 6. And Scrubs if you are around. If not, see you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
See you then.
Yeah.
Thank you.